Hello, everybody. Welcome to our continuing coverage here at Easy Allies of E3 2019. Michael Damiani. Right now, I'm joined by Kyle Bossman.
Hello.
Bradley Ellis.
Hey.
Hey. Achievements. Didn't happen this year, Brad. I'm sorry.
This isn't friend code.
I know, but I'm sorry. I just wanted to... Just moment of silence.
Is this an unofficial friend code
It's
right
never
now?
happening.
No, it's never happening. We got a lot of games coming to you today. A lot of impressions.
But this is basically pre-show.
Yeah, this is the pre-show. This is the best part of the show, actually. This is the part where we're gonna run wild with some Breath of the Wild sequel discussion here.
Yeah.
We have a good
Everything after
time.
this,
We're actually gonna be joined also by Ian Hink.
Great shirt today, Ian.
Tanks, baby. I got
Because let's just be
by an
honest.
Instagram ad.
Oh,
I
They
seen it and I
You
was
got
like,
grammed.
all right, I'll buy it.
Grammed.
aside
Good Graham.
The corruption right there.
corruption.
We're just gonna jog.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of which, yeah. Aside from Final Fantasy VII remake and probably what Cyberpunk
Mm-hmm.
is probably like the biggest thing that was
and
announced
Control.
at E3.
Oh,
Sorry,
not
and I think this is the
announced.
biggest. Yeah, or not announced, shown off at E3.
okay.
New footage. And yeah,
Where's that document? There it is.
this thing. I cannot believe this is happening.
So just to be clear, everybody, pre-show. Right now, we're just going to talk about this for
Yeah,
a
we're
while
gonna talk about Breath of the Wild.
until we begin the official previews.
It was pretty much the most asked thing in chat the last 2 days. When are you
Really?
talking about Breath of the Wild? When are you talking about Breath of the Wild?
Oh,
Right now, baby.
I want to start there because over the last 3 days, I spent a lot of time in lines or playing Nintendo games and talking with a lot of people there.
Oh.
And having discussion about surprised that they actually just kind of dropped this on us, this like teaser, because I feel like this has now taken over the conversation for Nintendo. So many people are talking about this, like asking about Breath of the Wild. Heck, there were even interviews of people asking about Breath of the Wild too, to the Zelda development team, AJ and Newman stuff at E3. And I wonder
when
if
they try to talk about Link's Awakening.
yeah, and Link's Awakening is kind of getting
Mm-hmm.
dwarfed, and like the other games are kind of getting dwarfed a little bit. It's just, I wonder if it was the best choice to just do this now.
Damiani, I'm surprised you're surprised, man. You've been talking about this for months. You were the one who warned me about
But
this.
he crumbled.
You did.
Don't forget.
When
it.
they-
You bailed on it last minute and went to Odyssey.
Okay, so yes, when we got to the end and they said one more thing, and,
Yes.
and in the first 5 seconds, like, this is not Mario. I was like, I'm screwed. There goes everything I ever betted for. We're done. I was like, I thought this might have been like the From Software game at first. When the first like 5-10 seconds was like, there's a like this could possibly be Zelda, but this could also not From Software. I'm sorry, Monolith.
I was
Soft.
like,
Jeez,
excuse
me?
sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah, From Software. Yeah,
Gotcha,
it's
gotcha.
Monolith Soft. I'm sorry, their upcoming project.
As quiet as usual.
Oh,
Are you
unfortunately.
checking out chat?
Yeah, I just
Is there mic sideways?
Would
Yeah.
you like me to project chat?
And I like that about this trailer.
Would you like me to speak from my diaphragm?
I liked how it was revealed with like uncertainty at first.
It's,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
designed that
And there
way.
was no
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
music gotcha moment. There was like, oh, that tune, that Zelda theme.
Yeah.
It was literally you see them in their outfits, like just a normal shot, and it's like,
You're
oh,
right, it wasn't cute.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Damiani. I
like,
actually appreciate
They go
that.
for this mysterious thing, and like I know, Brad, you like saw the lettering and the symbols there, and you kind of got like, oh, Zelda. The inverted the little what they're called, the Sheikah things
Yeah.
that drop the information into the Sheikah slates.
Yeah.
When I saw the first shot with the inverted thing, I'm like, is that one of those?
Dude, Link's got shoulder pads now.
Okay,
He's ready to
Are
go.
we talking theories?
not yet.
Blast it.
We're
Have
talking about something
theories.
fun, Ian.
What do you mean shoulder pads? What are you looking at?
On
dude?
his left shoulder, he's got a shoulder
Yeah, he's
pad.
got like a little thing.
I think that's like a strap.
There's maybe
No.
Okay.
but
It's in his right. He's right-handed now in this one, so it goes right here behind his back. It
That
won't
means
be
he's
on
a
his left shoulder.
doppelganger.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
right.
really him. It's the
It's Loki.
left-handed.
the
Link.
internet has now fallen completely in love
With
with Zelda in this
Short
one.
hair
She's
Zelda.
got
The
short hair.
short hair
She's a
Zelda.
playable character.
I thought you were gonna
has-
say hydrated Ganon.
No, stay hydrated, Ganon.
Yeah.
It's been how many
Hydrated.
years? How many days since you
Dusty
died?
Ganon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ma, you really know how to hydrate a Ganon.
You seen
That's for
Ma?
sure.
Huh?
You've seen Ma?
No, not
Just
during
stop
Zelda.
it.
All right, all right.
Not
Stop.
during Zelda.
Back to the Future
Alright.
2,
Um,
but with pizza.
yeah, everyone likes the new look of
Zelda?
it's a Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really digging it. And you know what, Ian?
Hey,
Yeah, they said we're not really answering about whether or not Zelda is playable. Can't
She's
say it quite
playable.
yet.
She's playable.
I think it's happening, Ian.
She better be.
I think
I think it's for function. I think they cut her hair short just to make her
She
play.
So it
could.
doesn't
That
clip.
could also be because she's like a weird like accessory. I'm gonna be so pissed if she's not playable.
And then the other thing is like she's the last. So I was watching this with no volume on my phone, the Nintendo Direct, and I got the impression they were implying that Zelda is playable. From that she's the last shot you see, you know, that quick sequence, and then you see like her shocked. It's like, oh, so this is a Zelda game.
Or she's just playing even a bigger role than before.
Yes. Well, I mean, if I don't know if she's like only the playable character. I mean, look at that. There's so much
No,
emphasis on her.
it's gonna be both of them.
Yeah,
And
it might
she's
be both.
closer to the camera most of the time.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be you pick. It's gonna be at certain sections you play as one or the other.
That'd be sweet, dude.
Well,
like-
well, someone falls through the floor. Yeah, maybe they get
Like,
separated.
think of Wind Waker. You're doing dungeons already with 2 people back on GameCube.
Yes.
They could do stuff like that.
Yeah, you're not gonna be like picking up Zelda and like dropping her.
Yeah, but
No,
it could be
no.
like, you know, like Last of
Not
Us
like the
style.
DS
Like, go
Zeldas.
do this thing while I wait here.
Yeah.
So I think
Okay.
my theory.
Go ahead, Ian.
Bring it on.
I had a theory that the obviously the overworld will be the Breath of the Wild overworld, probably
Yeah, they
with like
confirmed
various corruption and
Is this
stuff.
same map they confirmed? Like,
Oh, they
Confirmed it's
confirmed
the
it.
same exact
Okay,
title.
okay.
Wow.
But then I was thinking maybe they confirmed this too, and I'm out of the loop. But I was thinking that a lot of it will take place underground. There's like a Sheikah society that had been buried. They had trapped Ganon, dehydrated Ganon down there long ago, and that was the corruption coming up. And then all the traditional dungeons that everyone was whining about not being in Breath of the Wild, they were there all along, baby, underground. You fall in and do them all. Is that
I hope they're
reasonable?
not all underground.
Well, not all.
I finally see the shoulder pad, dude. It's
Yeah.
on the other one.
Yeah,
Got it.
But you could
right.
have like
That
crazy
knows it.
underground, like different biomes, you know,
Yeah, of
like
course.
what's that Journey to the Center of the Earth, where it just looks like you're outside
Some
again.
dinos you talking about?
Dinos, dude.
Dino DNA.
Dino.
I think the only thing they have to be careful for
Big
if
old-
it's predominantly underground, which I don't think it's going to be. I think there will
Could be
sig-
both above ground and equally large underground
Oh,
map,
okay, so half and half. So kind of okay.
because they already built the whole
Their
above
version of a
ground.
Light in a Dark World,
I,
maybe.
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like the underground stuff would probably be more dungeon themed stuff. Like maybe that's where the traditional dungeons are going to reside. So I get this vibe.
Okay.
I like that idea, Ian. I do like it, and I think you might be closer than you think. And my gut says that there's going to be like you can't just be the same height, like literally the same Hyrule is that everything looks the same, everything plays the same. That would be the
But you're
worst.
Zelda this time.
Yeah,
And, like
it-
that's the only change.
It's like-
Because what we loved about the game was the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Right.
Of exploring that world.
It's like I've already
yeah.
been here. I know, like, oh, there's a Hork seat over there. That's
Yeah.
where like there's a Moblin camp over there. It's like, yeah, no, like
Yeah,
that can't
no.
happen again. The very minimum, we should see a little bit of passage of time, and some things have changed. But like underground is something we haven't seen yet. So I think they will probably. They kind of indicated this whole trailer is pretty much underground, except for
Yeah.
the one shot of Hyrule Castle above ground, raising up for some inexplicable reason. It's like
Going-
Maybe it's doing that anime
Back to
thing where it's-
Skyloft, baby.
where it's raising
No.
up before it like tips and falls down.
That'd
I
be
feel
a
like
funny
that,
reveal.
that happens in a lot of anime, or like
maybe the castle inverts, Ian.
yo,
There you go.
the whole thing is on like a
Yes.
giant like spinning platter.
What if the whole world just turns upside down and it's just like, oh, okay, here we
Flip
go.
turns upside down.
So go with me on this.
Okay.
We're
Zelda,
with you.
the Breath of the Wild, drew some comparisons to being kind of like a reimagining or capturing the spirit of the original Zelda.
I mean, they
And it
did
successfully
that.
did,
and they've
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
So what if Breath of the Wild 2 is going out, setting out to recapture and reimagine the spirit of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link?
In what
Not
way?
the one I thought you would say. But
Oh, what?
okay.
Which one do you think I was gonna say?
Link to the Past.
I mean,
Nah,
they've done that.
Yeah,
I
they've
don't-
done that. They've done that.
So
I mean, what was Zelda
We'll get-
2? Like,
Zelda, so Zelda 2, you have.
Zelda
You-
2 is the weird like side scroller
Yes.
one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
when we watched Damiani.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's more of an RPG.
Yeah.
It has magic. We're seeing magic abilities being used here.
Yeah,
So
he's got that.
I'm wondering if the characters will learn actual spells this time in addition to the runes. Like I don't know if those things they're doing are just strictly runes or they'll add a magic system on top of that because that would be really cool to see that come back.
I would love that, man. It was so weird. We
Seeing
just had
spells.
an iPad that had 3 specific spells and nothing else, you know?
Yeah. Also, the theme, we were talking about this a little bit before we began the stream, Ian. We're seeing this like corpse of what we're still assuming is Ganon. I don't think they've actually confirmed that's Ganon yet.
It's Ganondorf. We all accept it now.
Ganondorf.
But we're just assuming, we're going with that.
We are, yeah.
It's him.
And Ganon being revived,
Yep.
that was the theme of Zelda 2. Is that Link had defeated Ganon in the previous game, and his minions were trying to revive their Ganon through getting Link's blood and sprinkling on Ganon's ashes. So you had a thing you said about
Well,
maybe...
it wasn't my idea. I was
Okay.
talking with some allies from the community that I ran into at E3, and one of them had an amazing idea that maybe has been out there. I don't know, but he told it to me, and I thought it was so good that at the end of the trailer, Link's body is being possessed by the evil of Ganon or Ganondorf or whoever, and that Link's body is the enemy. You know, obviously not Link, but like the enemy is controlling his body for the whole game, and so you're Zelda and Link is the bad guy.
I 100% buy into that.
Yeah, I think
You
it's
know
such a
what,
cool
Ian?
idea.
Yeah.
There's actually a Valiant comic volume from the original Legend of Zelda where Link starts transforming into Ganon because he becomes corrupted by like the Triforce of Power himself. Like he slowly undergoes the transformation, and he goes, it's basically the "Am I the bad guy?" moment. Like Zelda has to be like, Link, like come back to your senses, using the Triforce of Wisdom to like wake him out of his
there's
nightmare.
precedent. And you were saying that in Zelda 2 they need Link's blood to wake him up?
Yes.
To resurrect
What's
him.
better than
to resurrect
blood?
him.
A whole body, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of like a Metal Gear Solid 2, right? We have played as this particular Link. We've like gotten so much loot with them. We've gotten so many upgrades and abilities, and the Guardians have granted us magic powers. And so I think it makes sense to rob us of Link.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it actually totally makes sense.
And if Zelda has like magic powers instead of tools,
She
or
can't.
whatever?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
can't like be like Link though.
Right.
She's not a
Yeah.
knight. She's like not versed in that. She's like more magic, I guess.
Yep.
But that seems really far-fetched to me of just like ditching using sword and shield in a Zelda game.
she-
If they do that,
Was she training in combat in Breath of the Wild in some of the flashbacks? I'm trying to remember. She was like training.
She wanted to do like she was really interested in like science and researching
Yeah.
biology. I know she wanted to keep going out and like research stuff, and
But then her dad was like,
the
"Practice
king
your
was like,
magic,"
no,
or-
you need to like focus on your ritual. Like you're the
Oh.
one who has to fulfill this duty.
She learned to pray for like her
Yeah.
first 18 years
Yeah.
of her
It's
life.
basically like stop focusing on the stuff. Stop focusing
Same-
on being an
Same,
adventurer.
honestly.
Yeah, it's a little
yeah.
disheartening.
I just think this game is going to be you playing as both. I don't think you'll be one or the other the whole time.
I would,
like
I'd
we
be
don't have a
shocked.
precedent for this, man. Like
I
this
know.
is
What are you talking
so
about?
direct. This is such a. It's like, hey, 5 days after that last game, this started happening. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't think this is 5
Yeah, I
days
don't think
after
it's
the last game.
Sure.
But yes, we do have a precedent for stuff happening directly after a previous game. What are you talking about, Kyle Bossman?
Not like this, Damiani.
Kyle
Not,
Bossman, have
not-
you played Majora's Mask?
Yes, dude. And that's
Uh-huh.
like not the same area, basically not the same characters. That's like a whole other Link who like traveled back in time and is like in a weird child's body.
Did you play Spirit Tracks?
Did you
or
no,
Phantom Hourglass?
Hourglass, which was the same Link and same Zelda, same pirates sailing after they sailed off at the end of the Wind Waker?
Is that the same engine?
It's the what?
Is that the same? This
Are we moving the
this is
goalpost here and changing it?
Yes.
First,
I'm-
I thought we were talking about story. Now we're talking about engines.
This is-
What-
I'm
Are
saying-
you talking about the whole package here?
Kyle's
now?
employing
a
cyber
sequel
terror
this
tactics.
direct. A sequel this direct has never happened.
Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link.
It's not this direct, dude.
It doesn't matter.
It's like, hey, that other Zelda, this is a different Zelda, or this is the true, like a different Link. It's like, dudes, this is so
Until they
direct.
messed it up, Link's Awakening was also a direct sequel to A Link to the Past. Same Link.
Not same engine. Good grief,
Pretty
dudes.
close.
Okay, so like, it's so like that story ends and we start this whole other thing. Like this is like last game ended where it's like, hey, Zelda's like ready to explore. It's like we have some stuff to solve. Master Sword stopped responding. Like it's like this is to me like an opportunity to get weird. And Brad, I think they'll go nuts.
They said they're going dark.
I mean,
darker than.
Yeah.
I think going nuts
Any
is like
before.
you being able to play as both.
Darker than
That's
Breath of the
pretty
Wild,
nuts.
they clarified. It's
oh,
not
okay.
darker than Majora's Mask. Some people are
Yeah, I've heard that was
misrepresenting
like
that.
a r-
In fact,
error.
they said this game has nothing to do with Majora's Mask, so people have already
So stop
struck
asking.
that theory.
Sure.
Listen, this game probably has nothing to do with any of the previous Zelda games. They
Yeah.
didn't set this 10,000 years in an undefined timeline. It's not directly connected to any of the previous games. It's
Only
like
for
it's
amiibos.
yeah, except for amiibos and those outfits. It's pretty much the most they could have done, short of a hard reboot. They just distance themselves so far out, and like we
Well, they
acknowledge
did-
we acknowledge this mythology happened, but it's not gonna work itself into any of our future stories anymore.
They did something to me that's way more interesting than a reboot. Is they set it so far in the future that all the previous games have become like legends and myths, which means like you can question the veracity of the earlier games in this game's reality, and like this stuff could be this you could find out like the real versions of the past that were represented in those old games, you know what I mean? Like Ganondorf, whatever, like the real story that spawned all those other games could be in this.
For sure.
Which I think could be cool.
Because there are people who think, Ian, that hand is tied to the Twilight, the Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
That has not been ruled out.
It's more green, but yeah.
But I mean, I would strongly implore you to just like kind of like not you, but the audience who are like heavily speculating.
I'll do it down
and
here.
want this. Oh, don't go down that dark path, Ian. Don't do it.
We're gonna get there.
Who
This
really
is all
want this?
pre-show,
Who
by the
really
way.
want this to connect to anything other than the previous Breath of its predecessor? To maybe take a step back and realize they're probably not going to do that. There's probably going to be new mythology crafted here.
Yeah, they do.
And it's going to be like it's probably going to be a new story about like if it's Ganondorf, it's probably going to be a new story about Ganondorf. Like something happened to him, and we're.
I would be really happy if we saw more of him like human form before he got really corrupted by the Triforce of Power, like showing him growing up through like cutscenes or something. I would love to just get more backstory on Ganon.
Who was he in the?
He was the one male Gerudo.
Yeah,
Gerudo
and he was actually
King.
hinted at in the Breath of the Wild lineage, which I really like.
Yeah,
They said we have like
Urbosa's champion dialogue when you complete the divine beast. She actually has a line of dialogue saying like it's something about supposedly like Ganon was a descendant of originally his human form was a descendant of the Gerudo.
You're right.
So we bear a little bit more of the responsibility in like dealing with him and ensuring
I
that
remember
he.
her saying that. Yeah.
And that's literally the only line here. But okay, Brad, demise. You know what I get vibes of here? Kyle, you do like Skyward Sword.
I do.
And
What,
you're still familiar with
demise?
like the backstory of it. How one day evil just came forth out of the ground and sprung up, and like these demons.
There's a lot of that in here.
I'm getting a little bit of that vibe. Like, is the underworld, these like the demonic underworld rising with the resurrection of Ganon?
Yeah.
Like, is that like this is what we're seeing in the shot here? Is that maybe Hyrule's gonna be transformed as more of the demons rise out of the ground?
I'm sure it's gonna be
It
transformed a
like it
bit.
becomes like what if this becomes? I'm not
dark-
taking full
a
credit
dark
for this.
world.
This becomes a
Yeah.
dark world essentially, and
I
that
love
is
it.
there.
And
you
honestly,
go.
because I'd love it if we're not like swapping back and forth. If it's just like this whole world becomes Halloween Town.
You might.
And, yeah,
And you think the castle's lifting off to like
that's like the
escape
start
it?
of it. Yeah, like it's gonna like something's gonna happen there, and like the things will start transforming, and maybe as you seal back the darkness, you restore like light to the land. You know that theme. Maybe other parts of the world become normalized again.
Yeah, so like you've retaken the castle. You're using the castle as home base this time, and then venturing out.
You could, yeah.
But maybe you can only stay out in the world a certain amount of time or something. That'd be weird. That would suck.
I like that idea. That's like the direct opposite of what Breath of the Wild was.
Yeah.
But I really like so Breath of the Wild kept a lot of things open ended. I actually never expected them to touch on that story again. But
Yeah, I
because it
didn't
was so
either.
open ended, there's plenty of room to fill stuff in. And so I love that Ganondorf was just beneath the castle the whole time,
Yep.
and just as like evilness seeped up through
The
the castle
Calamity.
and
Yeah.
created Calamity Ganon, which was just only like his spirit rising from his body.
Pure hatred.
Yeah, so
Very,
it's just like
very Princess Mononoke.
Yes.
I don't get that reference.
There's
Okay,
like this
he doesn't
black
get it.
goo that's like pollution or
It's
like
in,
men's evil intent, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Clean Attack. Oh, he hasn't seen it.
Hey, Dummy, do you recognize any of like the his earrings or anything?
I haven't
Like
like
symbols on them whenever we get back to
On
it?
I feel
On
like this
who?
has got to mean something, right?
Yeah, it's like-
the gem on his forehead.
Supposedly Ganon.
Oh, they're like all Gerudo symbols on him. His
Yeah.
earring is a Gerudo symbol. He's sitting on a Gerudo like slab. The revised
Slab.
Gerudo symbol, which originally it started off as the general onyx symbol
Mm.
from Oracle of Seasons.
Oh.
And then it became the redefined Gerudo symbol. It used to be like a crescent moon thing, and they thought it looked too similar to, I believe, Turkey's national flag or something like that. And they
Oh,
were
I
like,
remember that. Yeah.
Like
I
they're like,
remember you
oh,
telling
we
me.
don't. I don't think we have the rights to this, so maybe we should
So-
revise it.
We're gonna find out whose hand is keeping him sealed.
I'm
like
sure we're
that.
gonna find out
So
about
that
that
makes me
stuff.
hopeful that we'll see him more in
Yeah,
his
like
human
this painting
form.
right here. There's like archers back there, like
Depicting the battle.
yeah,
right?
like some battle about probably like him being sealed or them like
What
waging
if-
war or something.
What if you go back in time?
really don't want time travel anymore.
Back
Like, please,
10,000
let's
years?
stop this.
It's pretty
What if
I'd really like them
common
to
with the franchise.
really like them not to do that again.
you know how the symbols are flowing away from the arm? What if the arm used to be a whole person, and kind of how like Zelda was like holding Ganon at bay? Like this, whoever this person was had been holding this at bay, but the power is abating, you know?
Yeah.
And like that
Heck
used
yeah.
to be a whole person,
So-
but it's like worn away, you know?
That's definitely possible. I think we're gonna see what happened, and the arm's probably left there. I probably don't think it's a person. It's a trope in Zelda games, Ian. One of Link or Zelda will disturb something, and it unseals X boss.
Classic.
Taking the Force Sword out, letting Vadi out, undrawing the Master Sword, restoring time, and it broke the seal on Ganon's power in the Wind Waker.
Sacred
I have a feeling they disturbed this site.
Sure.
And that unleashes Ganon. So basically, one day, like Link and Zelda are just up in Hyrule Castle.
She's gonna be like
Link-
reading her books and find something in a book, and they're gonna go out and try to find it.
It could be that, or one of the guards like comes in and complains.
So it's the mummy
the
one.
crapper's
Yes.
backed up right now. Like there's a sand coming through. Can you do? Can someone go
what?
down there and investigate? And it's like Link, you're on janitor duty today. Please go down and investigate. And they go down there and like, oh, this is causing the backup right here.
Or this is like in the dungeon, yeah.
No,
in Hyrule.
they've been following clues.
Yeah,
dude.
they're on a journey. They've packed their drink.
water, so
They're
yeah, it's a
watering
sewage.
the ox.
Dude,
like, yeah,
it's just
they're-
the Goonies, man.
But yeah,
they're on a
Underground,
search.
One Eye Willie.
It's they probably find a clue. Brad, your idea is probably on a serious note. That's more akin to something that happens that either Zelda gets like visions or something,
yeah.
or something
from the
tips them
gods.
off.
The gods will like
Yeah.
talk to her.
They go on this little adventure here. Like I think a lot of these scenes where like someone falls, like that scene of someone falling, is that person falling into like the tomb of Ganon right there.
Yeah.
It's
And then-
clearly
and
Link falling.
They fall down there, and then like they look that turnaround from Zelda being shocked is like, what's this corpse here? And it's like, oh, Ganon. Then like they touch it, or Link does like, I'm gonna do something to it, and it's like
Maybe he's drawn to
"Oh,
it or
back to
something.
life."
Oh yeah, maybe that's a little out of sequence because you do see the
It's
arm.
not in chronological
You
order.
do see the arm
Absolutely
like
not.
grab somebody, like
Yes.
save them. So maybe Link does that to save Zelda,
Yeah.
but then it is impacted
not
by
in
it.
chronological
Okay.
order
I
at
get
all.
that.
They know what they're doing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it possible? Just asking
Uh-huh.
that this is not Ganon or anyone like of that amount of importance, but is like one of many things like this, and it's more like an early game like Resident Evil zombie turnaround cutscene.
could be. That seems like
It seems very.
like
It seems
the,
very like
the presentation
ceremonial.
around
yeah,
that body
yeah.
is seems like a lot for one thing,
I
especially
think
with
you're
the
right.
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
the painting on the wall and stuff.
Sure.
I mean, it may not be Ganondorf. It could be someone else.
The light crystals that are illuminating the cavern, though, they look somewhat similar, to, like an unrefined version of the time stones from Skyward Sword.
I told you, man. Time travel, baby.
Oh man, I don't know if I.
I'm not saying they are that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like there's like clearly some like kind of energy down here that's supernatural going on.
Yeah.
But also it is very Castle in the Sky esque when Sheeta and oh my gosh Patsu go into the caves and it's dark and they tell them turn off your like dim your lanterns, and then they see all these like beautiful like crystals and stuff that illuminate the cave. I totally get that vibe from this.
I like how the magic
stream.
the magic sigils are like forming at the beginning and then dissipating at the end.
Yeah. Ganondorf is loose.
Yeah.
I feel like the noise we're hearing in the trailer, the music and the warped voices, I have a like you all probably assume it's like that the weird symbols going around. It's like that. It's like some kind of like spell or an enchantment on there.
Yeah.
And like
Oh right, because they look
Yeah.
at like letters. Of
yeah, like I think
yeah.
as I
Yeah,
bet
yeah.
you hear that as you approach that, and it'll be unraveled at some point, like what that message is. Like what the heck was that? It's probably like a spell that was like.
Well, did you hear the thing where someone reversed it and
We gotta
like,
do it on the
played
phone.
and stuff?
Should I pull it up?
Go ahead,
Okay,
go ahead and do it.
because I haven't heard it.
I hope.
It's
not heard
it's
it.
well it's kind of the one I saw had text showing what each part was, so we'd have to like narrate along with it, but
Sure.
I could just tell you what it amounts to.
How much more fun would it be to listen to it?
It'd be slower.
with that flash of lightning, Dominic, did you see that on the wall?
Yeah.
Is that Ganon?
So,
Ganon form?
You want me to go in the other room and like slow
Yes.
frame advance this? Because I have not actually done this yet, chat. I have not had time. There have been there's no damn
rewind.
time this week. I've not had time I've not had 15 minutes to stop and like frame advance this trailer and do my analysis on this.
That's not right, dude.
I've
Do
had,
it. You're wasting
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
We're doing
it's-
it
yeah,
now. Get in
I'll
there.
close this up.
But we did it when we were in here, right after it
Oh,
happened, during the post show.
like slow frame advance.
Oh.
We're
We
using
need the
Twitch thing.
deep dive.
Are you gonna stay in there? Or are you gonna
I'll
come back?
I'll
Okay.
definitely come back. I just want to maybe. Oh, the mouse is not wireless, is it?
No,
No.
it would. We haven't
of the
USB, but it would take a hot minute to plug it all together.
So a bunch of people played it in reverse without the inversion.
Uh-huh.
Where do I find it, dudes? Chat's got the link. That's what. Sucks.
Anyway, it's the Zelda 1 Game Over music,
right.
theoretically.
I think Zelda 2 Game Over music.
Oh, I'm not sure which, actually. Chat?
You have to invert it and play it backwards. And I found like we inverted it, nothing happened. It's like do both.
Well, because they did that for
What does
Skyward
invert
Sword
mean?
already. For the theme.
Sorry, my
Yes.
headphones
So
are-
it's Zelda's
So they
theme
had to
backwards. so-
they had to up it a little more.
Yes.
Yeah, they made it minor or whatever.
Is this a? Oh, this
Yeah,
is
that
a
was-
file.
that
So what
looked
I'm gonna
like
do real
Ganon.
quick,
I don't know.
I'm gonna stop this for a second. The video.
Slow it down because I think it is totally Zelda Who Falls too. I think I was totally wrong about
He
that.
could be corrupting Link. I'm not sure.
Beep, boop, beep, boop.
Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna also play it. Yeah, I'll
Or he,
do
like-
playback speed at minimum.
Just comes back to human form during this too. Like I don't know if he's like
The
in Motep.
hand looks a little beefy, dude. The hand doesn't look mummy-ish.
Yeah, like
you
I'm
get
saying.
a silhouette of the hand. I
Like
get
he
what
might
you're
just
saying, yeah.
he might turn into normal
So
that's him.
human or beast.
That's our bad boy
Yeah,
right there. That's
this is,
Ganondorf.
like what I've been waiting to see. Is
I mean
like,
that's
this mural.
Ganon. Yeah, Ganondorf on this horse.
Yep, he's got the symbol on his back. He's got a spear. He's got his long hair.
Yeah, there's someone in
Dude,
front of him with
Phantom
a
Ganon.
spear. There's someone on horseback behind him with a bow and arrow. Like I think that's like probably the Gerudo.
You think they're on his side, dude?
They might have been
Because
Huh.
if they abide by he was
promises,
their
dude.
king,
False promises.
yeah,
Sure.
if he's their king, then it stands to reason that they might stick to the lore of that he was the king, like the king
of thieves.
and that they're like a raiding party essentially.
And he was the only man?
Yeah,
It's some weird
He's the male.
magic where
like every 100 years or something. I don't know
yeah,
what it is.
it's like
Something
every
that.
100 years a male is born into the Gerudo, and
Like Dracula.
and their law says that they become the king. And then twin Rova, Kotake and Kume were his surrogate mother, who basically taught him like magic and crap, and that's how like he became so powerful, essentially.
And then he just went all evil.
Yeah. He's,
So this is a fun point. Everyone just assumes like Gandalf just is evil for the sake of being evil. Not everyone. I'm sorry. For a long time, we just assumed that because he had no backstory.
Yeah.
And then even in Ocarina of Time, we're like, okay, he was just like this ruthless leader, still bad for the sake of being bad. But in the Wind Waker, also one of the best stories in the Zelda game, Ganon actually had character development. You actually hear his motivation for why he was doing what he was doing. He basically said like he envied Hyrule because like they had like peace, tranquility. They had like green grass, like harvest. They had like normal weather. Whereas they basically the Gerudo were like outcasts. They were exiled from Hyrule, had to live in a wasteland. Their people only knew like it's like Thanos. They only knew like starvation and blah blah blah. Our people just like coveted Hyrule, and like you guys just kind of like shat on us. So like, what'd you expect? Like
Well,
we
then
we
you
were fighting for our lives. and
shat on
stuff.
Hyrule.
And Ganon's basically like a Thanos. It's like I have a solution here. It's like I'm gonna like come conquer Hyrule, and my people will be safe and stuff. I'm doing it for a good reason, but you're still like a maniac essentially.
Noise.
All right, we could play this too. By the way, I finally got it.
All right,
Okay.
play it, Kyle.
Put it in the front.
This is the audio reversed. Creepy.
What's this?
This is isolated, which is just the.
I know that.
Yes.
That's the game
Yeah.
over theme from or ending credit scene from The Legend of Zelda NES.
And this is it going frontwards. And you were right, it's Zelda 1. a
Wait,
good tune.
so someone converted it to that?
Well, here, listen. This is it backwards?
Backwards every other note.
Oh,
And now it's backwards.
Oh, this is backwards every other note.
You know what? I'm not completely sold.
This is out of control.
Yeah,
dude.
no, I don't
then
know.
when they play
I
it,
feel like I'm
they,
looking for
hang on,
aliens.
they play it again. They play
Oh,
it again.
okay.
At least in the one I saw.
This clip just ends right there.
Oh, okay.
I guess I got the bad clip.
Give him a thumbs down.
Bad clip.
Someone tweeted that at me. All right, Damiani, continue your analysis.
We'll have to see the sheet music.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
to me that was just
it's
a lot of
interesting-
bloops.
Yeah, which one of you pointed out that these symbols are floating out of the hand backwards, up and away?
That's Ian.
Yeah, I said that.
That's
It's a
the
little
full
weird that
body
they're
theory.
like going up instead of going in. Like you'd think a prison would be going around the body.
Right, that's why I think the power of this hand is lessening.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like a distress call. That's what actually they see.
Well, but it's weird because it's going up and spiraling around. There's like a spike in the ceiling above this, which is also later the thing that all the like calamity goo like rockets up into. So it seems to be some kind of like connection to the mainland. Maybe the goo forces the castle upward because that's the bottom of the castle.
Yeah, there could be something in the castle like that.
I'm trying to see what's on like the
That
back
rat.
there.
It's good
It's
rap.
it's very conspicuously the same color
That
as these
looks-
crystals too.
Yeah.
The stuff on that ox or whatever it's gonna end up being. There's like looks like there's a pickaxe. There's some like log wood.
It's camping gear.
Yeah, it's like gear. Like,
They're on a
you're-
quest
They're on a
together.
huge they
this
have
is
firewood.
epic.
They've been spelunking, dude.
This is I hope you have that vehicle in the game.
Me too. Vehicle.
What are the animals called in
She has a new
Twilight
cloak.
Princess?
Which one?
What animals?
The ones that you have to. They're like
Like the
the
boar
ones that you have to
things?
farm at the beginning of the game. Yeah.
Oh, I think like go something like a goat almost. I think.
Yeah.
I don't
The,
remember
wait, the
exactly.
goats?
Cool. They have nice cloaks.
They do.
Yeah, you get a good look.
Yeah,
at
where's
that.
his motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't I have the master cycle? This
You gotta
road-
beat the
Just run over
DLCs
Ganon
to
right
get
here.
him.
Game over.
Again.
You win.
It's funny he's still using the Master Sword despite it losing its light.
Not if you played the DLCs.
It's actually called Goat with an H.
Wait, that's goat with an H is from Majora's Mask. That's the
That's the boss
Oh.
in the second dungeon.
mechanical one.
Yeah. Drink up.
It's so out of sequence. It's like why this shot after that
Yeah,
shot?
I wonder if like fresh water might be an issue. Like
Oh.
if it's all
Thirst
underwater.
meter.
Yeah, like, you gotta find like water
Because
supply.
Link's grabbing some too.
Yeah, look at that.
Or no, Zelda.
That's
and,
Zelda.
And the
He's-
ox.
he's messing with
the
stuff on
ox
the
as well.
ox.
Like maybe it has stamina and stuff, and you can't go so far.
Oh, I assume that thing on the left was a like stalagmite,
Sorry,
but it's
Epona.
actually a
Demoted.
building.
Yeah.
Wait, the
Can't carry the load.
camera's out of focus. I don't. Is it? I don't,
It's autofocus.
No, the thing was in
yeah, I was
focus.
gonna say
Are the peaking lines green on us?
Yeah, you're
Sometimes it likes to
green.
goof
I don't-
around.
Yeah, it's green.
Then they're
There is a
incorrect.
breath of the in the upper right hand corner that we don't need.
Yeah, we'd love that to be gone.
Breath of the.
Nice.
It's like, oh, there it is.
The answer.
Oh God.
Oh,
Upper
it's
right.
fun. People are trying to guess the title of this.
funny.
Do you have any guesses?
It's not worth guessing.
What, like the goat or the mount?
Oh, the name of the game. The sequel.
Oh, this?
Chat
Breath
is
of the
screaming
blank.
This is not in focus.
What, the game or us?
You.
All of us, or I guess it's all of us. Yeah.
It's for effect chat. All right, I'll do focus.
All right,
Focus.
chat.
I'll go do
Hold tight.
No, keep going, Damiani. It doesn't.
Sure.
Who cares?
I mean, we should care. We're gonna be doing this all night.
That rat becomes a boss.
You know what?
It got
I'm
absorbed.
game.
Yeah.
I've played Dark Souls.
Yeah.
This is a cool bridge.
Man, I love this stuff. I sincerely think this is one of the best Zelda trailers of all time.
It's one. Yeah, I guess. I'm trying to think of like a lot of past
So
Zelda
do you-
trailers.
Do you think there are gonna be parts you come across where, like the ox, like it looks like maybe the ox has to jump, or that is susceptible to breaking apart?
I think we're leaving the ox behind right there.
Yeah, is this like goodbye?
Yeah, we're leaving them.
Is Sam saying goodbye to his horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill.
Bye, Bill.
Check it out.
Yeah, like what are they
Yeah,
seeing
Link's
here?
got, like,
Oh, they
a
must be.
little
I
different
think
thing
they're
for his
reading the
chest.
mural right there. They're probably reading the symbols, like the Ganon story.
From way early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet that's what's going on right here.
I hope you can keep Link's hood down like that too.
We have to do a new edit. We have to
Just look
edit
at her
this
eyes.
into sequence.
Yeah, like
That's a
she
good
totally.
idea.
Someone I think already has an edit.
There
that
we go.
Put it in sequence.
So it is shooting straight up. It's shooting in
And
every
it's
direction.
out, yeah, straight up and out everywhere.
So yeah, that little
Dude,
piece
that
of
Necalli
jewelry there
hair.
has like the Gerudo symbol on it.
What if they're inspired by Necalli for his design?
Great. Wake
Like,
him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are thinking it might just straight up be Demise, but Demise wasn't a Gerudo.
What's that symbol?
That's the Gerudo symbol.
Yeah, it's got these like crazy.
Oh, this is breaking the 180.
chains.
That's on the other side of him. Weird.
Yeah, we're shooting around.
That last shot, yeah, was like flipped the wrong direction.
But doesn't that look like? It looks like Twilight almost to me, like the shape of the stuff on the arm.
That's like Midna's.
It's just not the same color.
It's like Midna's like arm
Skin.
armor though, right? Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
The
Or
gold
her, like,
stuff.
So
Her weird
So
helmet.
like it's I don't think Link's shooting something. I think he's definitely being wrapped up.
Yeah,
by
something's
it.
happening to him.
So I think he disturbs it and he gets affected by it. That would be my
and
guess.
that gives him the magic.
Maybe.
He takes the magic into himself. Damn it, he's the player character.
you got
I,
the magic.
I seriously think it's gonna be both.
Yeah, that
It
looks-
better be at least both.
That thing right there above them looks like where you get the data dump into your Sheikah slate. It's just not powered up, and now it's gonna be corrupted by this.
Or it'll just blow up.
Ooh, and what if it then corrupts all the towers and it spreads out from each
That's
one?
why everything's like raising and exploding.
That's his hand.
That's
up
Link's
top.
reaching down
he's
for
reaching
Zelda.
for her.
So
Yeah.
she fell.
The entrance to the dungeon, so
Dude,
cool. Looking.
that is a good entrance.
That's goat.
That's That's
It looks kind of like it looks. Oh wait, there's already precedent for hidden underground temples like this because there's one on the like southwest side in that
Canyon?
canyon.
Yep.
Yeah.
That.
So,
So-
the hand's grabbing some.
We see Link grab Zelda's hand,
Then
and
the
then
hand grabs his.
it's
So
like
they
two
both
shots
fall.
later.
Looks like they're both falling.
They're
and
both
it saves
falling.
both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's a wide grabbing him in the next shot.
Big old hand.
No, that's still.
Oh, that's still on the thing.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's
Oh, look,
totally like
something-
Ganon
look at-
turning into
what's that?
or Ganondorf, and that's
No,
the
what?
body
That's the hand with a
attacking
body.
Ganon.
Enhanced, dude. What's going on in
What
the lower
the heck
left?
would be attacking Ganon like that?
This is a flashback,
Banon.
maybe?
Like,
It's got only like three, maybe. Look at those. Like,
No,
well,
there's
we
a
know it's
four
just
the
fingers.
angle, yeah.
So I think to people who say Midna, like, I kind of get it.
why?
It could be someone. It doesn't have to be Midna. It could be
Yeah.
someone from the Twilight
It's
Realm.
just it's witch-like, you know. I like Brad's right. It's just like it's kind of like it is evil looking, right? That hand.
It could
Is there
also-
something standing next to him there?
like?
Yeah.
you're
The
like,
shadow
right
has
here.
a body.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
With like a helmet or a crown. Oh.
Here we go.
No, this is a Switch resolution.
Oh
We'll
no,
never be
that's
able-
his hand.
We'll
That's
never
his
know.
hand. That's his other hand.
Oh, you're right, because the hand is still there.
Why
The
is
shadow's just for
flash showing
effect, I
those
guess.
Shadows though.
It's historical effect.
Yeah, 100%.
You're seeing that,
The
or
past.
it's just one of those like weird stalagmites or stalactites.
Dude, what if it's Zant just back for revenge?
The red stuff
would never
coming up
happen.
right there. It looks.
That's like
That's
the
the
blood moon.
Calamity.
It looks like. Yeah.
Crystallized Calamity.
Oh, it's by
There
where
she
Zelda.
goes.
Yeah, that's like it's in the air. It's like the blood moon.
This is well animated. This is fun.
Look at that. Don't take the ring. Don't take the ring of power.
My rings.
Dude, the tiny little like flinch of the hand, so
Mhm.
cool.
This trailer makes no sense, like spatially.
Yeah, I do think that's all intentional.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
Oh
shot,
yeah.
okay.
They're trying to confuse.
I 100% believe this shot right here
Mm-hmm.
is when the thing happens to Ganon back in the past, because he's like arching over.
But it's the
I
same
was
like
wondering-
fog that's around Zelda in
Okay.
the shot prior though.
Then maybe it's after it's like the
Ooh,
the
wait.
explosion of that purple stuff.
Because it doesn't even like turn around and look around in the same
Yeah.
shot.
But wait. Go back to
yeah,
Zelda
never
turning, Damiani. Go back to Zelda turning like shocked. It's after that. Nope. It's after this. After this, just keep it going. Right here.
No torch.
But it's later. But also like, remember in Breath of the Wild, Link, every time he got like a vision, he would look kind of shocked. He would go like, he would, like.
It would like
Yeah.
zoom into
Yeah.
him.
And I'm wondering if this is her having a vision of the past.
Sure.
Like she's like turning and like, where am I? And like the stuff in her hands are gone. Maybe.
Yeah, this is the present. Yeah, sorry, I was wrong.
The one eye awakening before the other. It's so nice.
Vampire Ganon.
Wait, look at
I'm
his
so
eyes.
into
It's
it.
Sephiroth.
Yeah.
It's Majora. They were lying to all of us. I love how they use the right light and like the bloom and stuff and like the lighting and mist to like obscure just enough so you can't see shit.
Remind me if there's a significance to that mountain to the left that's got a huge chunk out
I
of it.
think that's where one of the Divine Beast lasers went through, potentially. I don't remember. But maybe not. That seems a little wrong.
Damian, I have a question for you.
That's the northwest, by the way, towards the Rito.
Because we're on top of the Great Plateau
We're
right
on
now.
the Great Plateau,
Yeah, the Great
on the
Plateau
tower.
looking straight. So that's towards Rito land and the ice mountains over there.
But wait, shouldn't that be that mountain with the big thing in the
I
middle
think
of
that
it?
might have been there before, actually.
Or wait, no, that's the volcano.
Death Mountain's on the right over here.
Damiani,
Is that the volcano on the right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damiani, did they say this game takes place in the same Hyrule, or this is the same Hyrule we're seeing?
Said it is the same Hyrule as Breath of the Wild.
That we're seeing right here.
Yes.
Not that the game takes place there.
I don't understand the difference.
So this could be the beginning of the game, and you could end up somewhere completely different. You don't have to necessarily be in the same Hyrule. You could be in a completely different area. This is just what we're seeing. This is the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not populated or anything, right? I get what you're saying, Brad. It'd be a good misdirect for sure.
I'm just trying to. Where's that big split mountain?
Oh, it's off screen to the right. You can't see it.
Okay, I was gonna say it should be to the right. Yeah. Okay.
They confirmed it's the same world.
Yes, but
I want someone to go.
People are
I
saying
want.
no to what you said, Brad, essentially.
okay. So they said this game you
Did they
play
say
in
the
Hyrule.
same map?
Did they? Yeah. Are they saying you same like you're in the same Hyrule? You're playing the game through that Hyrule.
I don't think they confirmed that.
Yeah,
Okay.
They
that's
just said
not
it's the
confirmed.
same. Yeah, they're reusing the map.
Like,
right?
I'm just not seeing any shrines. Like, I know they're not lit now, probably. I don't
Yeah.
see any towers.
Yeah, they're not here.
I mean, the tower on the Hyrule Plateau is slightly out of the shot, so
To the
you
right.
can't see it.
But there should be
I think
some
you
over
should
there.
See the shrine that's by it. I think.
You know what we should do? You know what we should do is go in Breath of the Wild and stand in that exact
yeah.
location.
That's a really good idea.
I gave my
Who's got a
copy
Switch?
away.
Who's got it?
I got one.
I got one here. I got my Breath of the Wild
Yeah.
here too.
Oh, Damian is ready to do
Get
it.
it, Damiani.
Because I think that a lot of that stuff rescinded, right? Because there was those things around the castle that went up, you know, where the Guardians came out of. Like, those
You
things
know what?
probably all went back
Didn't
underground.
they go up because he took like the Sheikah Slate or something? The towers.
Yes, because they were there
So
to train them.
he could have put him back, the
Yeah.
Sheikah Slate back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great point.
Don't
Who said
need
that?
this anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading this one comment. Who said it? Sorry. Game of skill. There are Gerudo letters coming from the arm that says Ganon seal. Is this the? Let me Gerudo language.
That's some Game Explain stuff right there.
Yeah, I expect Damian to be able to translate.
I was a little disappointed that Damiani couldn't just sight read that language.
Well, I didn't know Gerudo has runes. I thought it was just Hylian.
There you
What?
go.
Where are we
This is
finding
confirmed?
this? It's on Wikia. It's got to be true.
Good stuff, Andrew Brown, dude.
Andrew Brown. Do you
I'll
work for
bring it over in a
Nintendo?
sec. No, it was readable in Breath of the Wild.
Huh, cool.
It was there. I just like. It
Oh, I
passed
mean,
it
it's
like
not
this.
legible there. Keep
Yeah,
going. I wonder where they're pulling
can
it
tell.
from.
I can
From
tell
the
you,
beginning.
I can tell you Hylian, but I can't. I don't.
Where's
know.
your Switch, Damiani? I'm gonna get to the plateau.
It's in my car.
Ah.
Guess what? Mine's here.
Brad's got it.
Oh, right.
Red.
We're sleuthing it.
It's very ironic that I gave away my Breath of the Wild like 2 days ago.
I met the person you gave it to.
Oh, really?
They're like, Ian gave me Breath of the Wild. I was like, what?
This must be
Well,
a
now I'm
special
kicking
person.
myself because I need it.
Let's see these symbols.
Ganon seal, huh?
Oh, okay. So here we go. So the first.
We'll let it formulate.
I think that's full formulation.
No, it goes a little more, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does. No way, man.
All right, so that's an S.
Well, no, that G. So if it's Ganon, G is this symbol here. A was. I feel like they
Botch.
Okay, I'm being told we have to move along.
By who?
Everyone
Bloodworth?
else is here. Yep, everyone else is here.
Oh, pre-show
We're getting-
over,
we're
everybody.
getting-
Oh.
Wait, well, Damian, let's wrap it up, though. Let's do final theories. Because I want to know your final theory, the one you've been holding back this whole time.
I don't have. What are you talking about, Kyle?
You said, like, don't let me get into it. And
Your
I'm like,
ultimate theory,
I didn't say
Damiani.
that.
Okay.
Your
What are you
ultimate
making
theory
up?
that unifies all of Zelda.
What? No.
Wow.
I spent time up there telling you that this has nothing to do with the older games.
The parents are back. We have to
Yeah.
I mean,
We have to
everyone's
talk
just sitting
about-
around.
video games.
So what I
now.
will say is, like, this makes me incredibly excited. This was the best kind of sequel trailer I think they could have made for Breath of the Wild because we're so intrigued, we're so interested, and we're not rolling our eyes and saying, "Oh, another one."
Right.
And I think it's extremely successful.
We're
for that
saying,
reason.
oh,
Mission
another
accomplished.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
one. All right.
Let's talk video games.
Other
video games.
I'm first according to the list.
Oh, what do you got?
I'll go fast, Blood. We'll make up for lost time. I had it out here. Here we go. Okay, Control. I saw it too. Hubert talked about it.
Well, he was here. Should we get him in here? Or
He
no?
already talked about
He
it.
already had
Okay,
his time.
okay.
He betrayed me.
Oh.
Anyways, really
He brought
good.
it to noodles and broth.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very, very good. And my demo bugged out. I fell through the floor a couple of times, and I still am very excited. That's the mark of a quality game. But yeah, the first thing I noticed was that the shooting is good, which I didn't expect.
Do you have infinite ammo?
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
but the gun needs to like
Recharge.
recharge.
No
sometimes.
problem.
It's very
It says
fast.
no
Yeah.
ammo on the screen if you're running low. But yeah, I mean, I don't really want to rehash it too much because Hubert talked about it, and I'm sure he said similar things to me. But like, it was fun in our demo that, like, I went off somewhere. We were trying to find the janitor, and I went off, and I wound up with this like evade ability, which is definitely like the early version of just unlimited levitation, because you can just go like and like fly forward like 20 feet, 10 feet. No, they were gonna send. We don't have B-roll of this. They were gonna send Huber's gameplay, but they're all still doing E3, so
Sure, yeah.
we'll
Fair
probably get it like next week or something. But yeah, I'm very excited for Control.
Yeah, me
And,
too.
I mean, I don't
great.
I don't know what Hubert said about it yesterday, but probably everything. So
I
we
got
don't-
to see
we
a
don't need
control
to-
panel today. I like
Oh, really?
a cutscene. Yeah.
Also, control panel, very funny.
Yes, extremely. Where some
yeah, this is the
dialogue was
demo
like,
we
"Oh,
played.
this is some freaky fun stuff about her past
Yeah.
and like why she's here and like
So
what
yeah,
got her here."
her brother and she had found a slide projector. Have we all talked about this already?
No, I don't think so.
Whatever. They found a slide projector that opened up portals to other places.
Some
With
Stephen
each,
King
each
stuff right there.
slide, yeah.
Yeah.
But then bad things came out.
Sam Lake's gonna come out of one of those.
One of them was just Sam Lake.
But she doesn't
basically-
want to say too much, and she like stops there. It's
Yeah,
like, "What?"
she like so the story is told through like cinematic, that very Remedy these parts, cinematic things with like close-ups of her eyes, and then you hear her thoughts.
That's anime.
saying like, that's all she gets for now. The rest stays locked up inside.
Alan Wake's
That was the cheesiest line I thought, but everything else, the writing was really good. But yeah. So then the Federal Bureau of Control came and like took her brother. So she came in here to try to find her brother. I got the impression that maybe she's not even like actually the new director or something. It's like
Impersonating.
unclear. She's like impersonating.
That
Which
poster is really funny, by the way.
it's a poster of himself.
Yeah, that's so
It's
cool.
so weird. But yeah, when you clear up a zone, that's a checkpoint. And yeah, did you fight those exploding like bent over backwards guys?
I think so.
They were tough. They come out of nowhere and they blow up.
Did you find the shield?
I did not find the
Okay.
shield. I had evade, but not the shield.
Okay.
Yeah, they said there were 2 abilities you could get in the demo, and I only found evade.
This game has good faces, bad facial animations. I think.
Yeah.
There, that's like inner thought right there.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
her thinking to herself. Yeah. Is she modeled after an actor?
Probably,
She looks
yeah.
very familiar.
The voice actor looks a lot like she does.
Okay, cool. I like when people
Yes,
do this.
yes. Easy peasy.
This guy, pretty sure his voice actor is Norwegian. I think
Mhm.
sounded Norwegian kind of to me. Yeah, but Control's going to be great. It comes out in a couple.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the other day Stronghold Warlords. I saw a developer
Which takes place in China.
demo, which takes place in China.
Yes.
I just saw the red arch thing and thought Japan, but that was like immediately, and then
They
I was
both
like, oh,
have
no, it's China.
pagodas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's China. Well, actually, it was kind of interesting because when the developers were giving me the demo, they always just said the Far East. So maybe it's more than one country. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know. But yeah, so I'm very excited about Stronghold Warlords because I love Stronghold 1 and Stronghold Crusader. Stronghold Crusader 2, Stronghold 2, and Stronghold 3 took some missteps.
I didn't
Not-
know you're such a Stronghold pro.
Not the best games in the world, not terrible, not the best. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love Stronghold. Like my sister and I would play Stronghold Crusader like all the time.
Cool.
We'd have LAN parties in our house just playing Stronghold Crusader all the time.
Cool.
But my sister and I both are such like turtlers that we would just like
Take hours.
Well, but we wanted it to. Like we
Yeah.
just wanted to like castle sim, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're castle sim games. But they were showing me so much stuff about how like they've drastically improved the wall building. You can build up little hills and stuff, which you couldn't do before, and it looks like kind of Great Wall of China style, where it like goes over the rolling hills, you know. And you can build single or double width walls, which is really good. Yeah, I think I asked them if they had footage, and they just said use the trailer. So we'll just use the
Damiani's
trailer.
been skipping over that trailer 8
There's no
times.
footage in this.
It's the one with a map.
Extended reveal
Yeah,
trailer.
just play the Lord of the Rings
first
one.
left one.
You got it, baby.
This is it, baby. Anyway, the wall building looks better, and the stairs are really good. And then they showed me all kinds of stuff with the armies because the funny thing about they're talking about this is that it seems like they've been doing a lot of research, which is good, but into tactics and weaponry and like technology of this time period. So that is actually that one is a temple. So there are several different systems in play.
Look at that guy stomping his feet. That
Yeah.
was
So
so
he's
yeah.
just playing old DDR.
The food and stuff is all different. So instead of like orchards, you've got rice paddies, and instead of ale, it's tea. And you have, this is a good example of what I was going to say. So the armies are always in like pretty good formations in this, whereas in the medieval games,
They're just scattered.
medieval strategy, in England was kind of just like go for it.
Yeah.
And they have gunpowder. And so
Was that like a
Yes,
donkey
that
that
was
just
a-
killed
was.
itself?
yes,
I
there
don't-
are.
You shouldn't have brought it up because now more people are going to see it.
Well, I was going to talk about it. There are so this is historical. This is back to what I was talking
So
about.
that's a real thing.
This is back to what I was talking about. Apparently, what sometimes they would do is they would light the tail of an ox and then it would charge into things. They do the same thing in Sekiro. They light the fire
on his
to
head.
freak out the ox, the bull. So I don't know what this is. But
Some deep dive, dude. Documentary right here.
but basically they said for the game, they do the same thing, but then they're like, and we put gunpowder on the side of the ox. So it goes in and just blows
so that's
up.
their own little addition to it.
Yeah, and
Got
then
it.
like in the meeting, he was like, it would be an interesting progression to start with just the tail lighting and then upgrade it to the blowing up one.
So they're flexible.
They've been it was a really interesting meeting because they were taking feedback that they'd been hearing at E3 and they're like going to implement a lot of it, which is cool. Very cool. But anyway, lots of different units like you would expect. Different shield units, and but the gunpowder stuff is cool because they have fire lancers. I think I don't remember what they're called if it was that, but they've got like a spear with a little flamethrower at the end and little burst flamethrowers. But so yeah, these are that was a temple, I think. So there are a couple of new kinds of mechanics in this. So in Stronghold 2 or 3, they had sort of like city states in Civ. But here they have warlords. So the way that works is you have buildings in your castle that generate like diplomacy points. And then there are warlords scattered around the map. And the warlords are all based around the Chinese zodiac. So they said there's the turtle and tiger,
Chicken.
and various other ones, which may sound kind of goofy, but like in the earlier Stronghold games, they were kind of called by animals like the pig, the wolf, whatever, and like and they were kind of loosely based on like maybe historical stuff, but like their name kind of denotes what they're good at. So the wolf would rush you or be really aggressive, or the lion would be really aggressive, and so in this, the turtle warlord, if you spend diplomacy points on that, they will help you fortify your castle, strengthen your walls, that kind of stuff, send things that help you with that. The example that I saw was the tiger, and they had already used diplomacy points to like basically you're kind of like bribing the warlord to be on your side, basically. And then they paid him 100 diplomacy points, little coins or whatever, to just send his own army to rout an attacking army that was coming toward their castle. And in the demo I saw, they were actually kind of surprised. They were like, wow, the warlord doesn't usually do this well. But his forces came down from above and like took out most of the enemy, and then they sent a fire ox out and blew up the rest of the guys. But which, you know, pretty morbid, but whatever.
Nothing you can do against a fire ox.
Not much. Just blow up. But yeah, ladders are back, and it's cool. The ladder guys like run toward it.
Is it the type of RTS where you build one castle for the entire game, or are there like missions where like, okay, this mission, I'm going to build up this thing, and then once I move on to the next mission, I'm building up again from scratch?
You're doing one castle. I mean, maybe the story mode will be different. Who knows? But like generally, if you're doing a skirmish, yeah, you're building a castle, and then like someone else has a castle. Like you need to enclose your keep. The keep is
Keep it safe.
enclosed.
Yeah, like that one that we saw was super tight. And
Yeah.
like there's no more room for you to build.
Yeah, and I mean that some people do that. Some of the AIs do that, and it's like dumb because you can just launch stuff in their town and burn everything.
Oh man.
And you
Throwing
can like
some explosive oxes in there.
yeah.
Launch
well, and
those.
traditionally you can throw like a disease-ridden like corpse into the castle to just make everyone sick.
Man, that's so like old school and true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's mostly based on like kind of real stuff. It's pretty messed up, but yeah, and there are shrines that give you have to keep your population happy and like fed and with enough tea and stuff, and then more people come to your town, and then you can get classic RTS stuff. But yeah, they said. No release date yet. They hope to be content locked this year, and then hopefully, I don't know, beta or demos or whatever. I don't know, maybe in the next year.
That's nice though. That's
Yeah.
really nice.
And yeah, like map maker, everything's back.
Map maker.
Next, I saw a game called Roki,
Roki.
which is they said they want to like kind of modernize adventure games. Like old point-and-click adventure games.
Okay.
So it's a 3D engine. You're walking around with a controller. It's kind of from the side, but you can like move in and away from the camera. You know, you can walk around in three-dimensional space. You're playing as a young lady named. I took all the cards with the character names, and then they're not in my pocket. But Tuve, I think. But yeah, it's a modern fairy tale. And it has this really cute graphical style, very cool looking game. And there's a trailer, I believe.
Not Loki, Roki.
Roki, R-O-K-I.
Yeah, like Scooby-Doo saying it.
Damian is hearing what he wants to hear.
No, I typed Roki and didn't see anything.
Scroll
The
down.
chat was like, "What is it?"
Scroll down.
R-O-K-I, O with umlauts above it. There should be a... Yeah,
There
that.
it is.
There we go.
Ruh-oh, Roki.
Yeah, so we're calling up some B-roll here.
Oh, I
Eventually,
like
after all these blasted... Okay, yeah, so yeah, that's the main character walking through this area. And so, like, you'll go up to this gate, and the gate is locked. And then you go to the next area, and you hear a rumbling. It's like a stone bridge. You hear this rumbling, and she's like, oh, what's that? You know? And there's a troll living under it. And it's like, it's not voice acted, but it's like,
Aw.
help me, itchy, and it's like, I have a thorn.
Whoa.
And then she's like, there's a
Giant
sword
wolf.
in your back. And so then you have to go into, and that's the title character back there, Roki. So then you go into this little hut that's a house that's been buried in the snow, but there's a hole in the ceiling or the roof, and you go in. You find a rope, and you find a bear trap. You put them together in your menu up top, and it becomes, a bear trap rope. And then you
Grappling hook.
Well, yeah, but then you put it down over the bridge, and it chomps on the sword, and you pull it out, and then that way you get a sword.
And
that's
you have a
that's
troll
really-
friend now too.
Yeah, well, the troll goes.
No, he dies
The
from
troll,
it.
no, the troll. Yeah, the troll's like much better now. I'll sleep, and then it rolls into a boulder and rolls away, which opens the next path.
Nice.
That's where the demo ends.
Cool,
but
cool.
yeah, it's really cool. They're basing it a lot on Scandinavian folklore.
Yeah.
But I get it now. Seeing it, it is like an old PC adventure game without being an old PC adventure
Yeah,
game.
and that's
I
what
really
they
respect.
said. That's what they
cool.
said. They wanted to make this kind of game accessible to more modern sensibilities, and I think they succeeded.
Like the walk cycle.
Yeah. Next, I played Eldest Souls, and I was garbage at it.
Eldest Souls?
Yeah. And like much talk was made of like me being like really into Souls games, you know.
The Bloodworth did this in emails, I bet.
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and so I immediately I was like on damage control, and I was like, well, you know, I'm probably like 5th best at them in our little group, 4th or 5th best, but I'm tenacious.
Yes.
You know, I'll get there. I just lose a bunch first.
You're willing to put the time in.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's this kind of isometric, top-down looking pixel art game, and you have that big sword. There aren't like items that you pick up that are consumable or anything, but you pick up items that are like lore and that are used for quests, and it's basically a boss rush kind of style game with like little connective areas. I think that my typical play style, and from that shot right there, the trailer, it seems like it ran a little differently than when I played it. But you have when I was playing it, you had 3 dodge bursts that would recharge over time instead of not stamina, but you have like a dodge and you can only do it 3 times and then it recharges. And there's rage, I think, a rage meter. And so if you do like a charged attack, it builds your rage meter up. And then if your rage meter is like full, and it's only full for like a second, and then if you hit B while your sword is on fire, you do like a big attack. But you definitely have to be like cautious and careful and really measured. I think that demoing it, for me anyway, because I like to have a little longer time to get used to the timing and the controls. Like there was one part where I was in Sekiro mode, I guess. There was one part where you have to dodge through this rolling log that's coming at you. You can't jump or anything. So you have to dodge through it because you have the iframes during the dodge move, you know? But I kept trying to dodge right when it was going to hit me, and I kept dying. And then I finally, like I did it like 3 times, and I was like, all right, so what's the timing on this? And they were like, well, it's like Dark Souls 1. It's like your iframes are in the middle of the dodge. And I was like, oh, okay.
So you wait earlier, you dodge.
Yeah, and then so as soon as they said that, I was like, oh, okay, and then I just dodged right through it, no problem. But like, so yeah, you have to like really get used to the timing of the game, and like sometimes the isometric angle made it hard for me to aim my attacks. Like the charge attack, you kind of like zip forward, and I missed a few that I thought I would hit, and like it was tough to gauge the hitbox of the enemy sometimes, both toward you and away from you. And there was a foreground element that blocked the lower left part of the arena, which I found a little irritating. But I think they commented on it too, like they were going to change that.
I like this. I like that, you know, they get a chance to have people play their games that aren't, you know, focus groups, but people who like truly enjoy them are immersed in them.
Yeah.
And they're always like, oh, okay, yeah, I see that. We'll change that.
Yeah.
And they totally do, which is cool.
And so like, yeah, I mean like, because your dodges are limited, they definitely want you to like use them very strategically. So the problem I kept getting into is like trying to dodge away from everything, you know, and just play it real like Bloodborne-y, and you can't really do it like that. And so I kept dying. Today I played Lost Words, which I just adored. I think we have footage of this, Damiani, if you're in there still.
Lost Words. I'm trying to multitask right now with other footage.
Lost Words is a game where you're playing. The main character is this woman who's trying to write her first fantasy novel. I'm not sure. She's probably early 20s or something. And it begins. Do we have B-roll, Damiani, or no? Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you can see here. You start and you're running down this little journal, and you're controlling that character, and then you fall through the holes to the next page. And so you see that the word blue there. So this is kind of the thing of this. You hit the right trigger, and then you move the word, like the keyword, with the right stick. And so she blew out the candles, and then you use the word. You jump on these words. You use the word as a platform. And so this one you pick and you unlock the gate, you know. There was one part that I really loved that said, I want to follow my dreams or whatever to become a writer, and you had to move the words "follow my dreams" and make like a staircase going up to get out of that page of the book.
Clever.
And I was just like, oh, that's a really clever way of doing that, to like show that kind of aspirational vibe.
Ooh.
But then so she decides on, you decide to have a purple outfit, you decide to have a fantasy story, you pick her name, and then you saw a second ago it went colorful. Then in a second I think it'll probably, so you choose the color of her dress, and then it's a very cool thing because in a little bit, probably, hopefully this B-roll goes farther into the game. I didn't see this. This is interesting. Oh, weird. It was different. So yeah, then it goes colorful, and it's a legit, just like side-scrolling platformer.
What?
And so then the elements of the story that
you
you
red
set
dress
up,
now.
and it changes the color of your dress. And so yeah, classic platforming, pulling things, pushing things, whatever, picking up. Oh, funny, that was a book in mine, in the playthrough. That must be later in the game then. So the little cursor is a firefly, and her grandma is currently the guardian of the fireflies, but then that title is passed on to you, and then you're going to go to the kind of like the tree that they showed earlier and releases all these fireflies.
Journey.
Yeah, and so the cool thing with it is elements of her real life are, I think, going to come into the story. You know, like the demo ended on a kind of a sad note, where the her mom had to go to the hospital because her grandma had a stroke, and her grandma is clearly someone that's important to her. She was writing her into the story, kind of. So I imagine it's going to be one of those stories what has emotions. But the cool thing is words. You get words in the story, and she has this notebook, and the first word I got was rise. And
Rise.
there are parts in the game where I came upon just like a cliff face of these like big rocks, and you can tell that you're supposed to do something with these rocks, and that's the village. It's really cool design because the rocks are kind of like shimmering a little bit. And so I was like, oh, okay. So you hit like L2, and you open the notebook, and it'll have all your keywords on them. So they're like action words.
And you had like unlock earlier from this demo.
Yeah, this is actually, I didn't see the whole village.
Sure.
This is different than what I saw. But
one of the words that you made a platform out of earlier.
oh yeah, but I didn't keep that one. That was in just the game starts in that notebook version, and then it goes to this. So I just had the word rise.
Okay.
And so then so like
There it
this.
is.
So exactly this. Boop. So you take it and you put it on an element, and it makes it do the
That's cool.
word.
That rope is strange.
Yeah.
Early build.
But like you can tell, oh weird, this village. Maybe in the real game, the village is way more blown out than the demo, because the demo, I just kind of went out of Grandma's house, and that guy opened the gate for me, and then I was out here, you know. Also, I had a purple dress, and my name was Grace. Not Red and Robin.
But I liked the pink hair.
Oh, yeah. Mine might have been pink, too. But anyway, I don't know. This game is really...
This looks really cool.
It's really delightful, and I think it would be a really nice stream. They said they want it to be beatable in, like, a sitting...
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Because I think, like, for the emotional arc of it. So, I mean, they didn't say a time, but I would guess that that's, like, 4 or 5 hours max, probably. But, yeah, this part I did. You rise those rocks. I just think it's a really fun thing. And, like, you move the Firefly independently with the right stick. So I found myself kind of, like, subconsciously making it dance around and, like, circle around words. And, like, when she was talking about the Fireflies, I was making it, like, dance around the words and stuff. I don't know. It's fun. But it has this nice sense of discovery where you get to, like, it doesn't handhold you more than it needs to. It lets you figure it. Like this part, it's like, it doesn't say, like, use rise to make the thing. It never says that. It's just like, you have to think of that.
Yeah.
And I think that bodes well
Whale shark.
for this game. So that's Lost Words.
That's really nice. Is that coming soon?
They didn't have a specific date, but I think hopefully soon, and hopefully to platforms that you know and love.
Cool.
Yes. Is that all I have?
Is it?
Oh, I have Blood. Is this the order you want to do them in? Damiani's Blood in there?
He's not in here,
Oh,
but he
okay.
can hear you in the other
Well,
room.
because next would be Darksiders Genesis.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
I need Brandon.
Darksiders, Brendan.
I
Are
need
we gonna
Brandon.
do a switcheroo?
We can
I'll
do
go
a swap.
I'll go
Get-
get him. I'll go
Because
get
what
him.
comes after that?
It's a bunch of Brads and a couple of Damianis. I'll
So
go
get
see what they-
Brandon and get Huber.
Jones is here.
Is Ben here?
Ben's not here yet.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I know.
Taking his sweet
Hiding
time.
in E3 to play Nintendo.
Hiding out.
He went to Sparrow, dude.
I played this at Judges Week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real cool.
I dug it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's real cool.
This game
Okay.
feels great.
All right.
Please see Huber. You know what we're talking about,
Let's
Huber?
compare notes.
I was not ready for a positive Darksiders conversation.
Darksiders Genesis. So, Darksiders, classically 3D action adventure game.
Yep.
Solving puzzles, killing dudes, fighting in Metroidvania. That's right, Huber. This one is a isometric, kind of looks like Diablo, 2-player co-op or one game where you play as War and Strife, 2 of the 4 horsemen. Strife we've never played as, actually, too.
Strife.
So I thought when I saw this game at first, I was like, oh, okay, they're just like making a cutesy version of Darksiders where it's just going to be really basic and simple.
Yep.
The combat is pretty much the exact same from the proper Darksiders games. They're very similar. Like the moves you're doing are like moves out of like Darksiders.
So it's not click, 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 click.
Correct. You have like the full. You're holding the LB. You're pushing the LBs with the buttons.
Okay.
You're doing the
All
moves.
right.
You're combining them all.
Okay.
I was like, whoa, this is crazy. There's platforming that's actually good.
Yeah.
From what I saw, like you played it actually, Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you? How did it feel to you?
Well, one thing that I loved is Strife, again, who I haven't played as, is all
Tell
about...
them why. So we know why.
We know why. Oh, he's got the guns, baby. Nice. Which actually gave me like a Lara Croft vibe, like the Temple of Osiris.
Oh,
those
yeah,
two
totally.
games.
Yeah.
So it's just that kind of like strafing around, targets, and then if it gets too close, then you switch to war. Boom, 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 take all the damage.
So if you're playing single player, just swap.
Yeah, you could swap
hit a
on
button,
the fly.
You just
Nice.
poof to the other character, and it's neat because they have 2 separate health bars. So
Cool.
if you can literally take the damage as war and then switch over to Strife to jump around. Do
Two
damage.
players max.
And then if
Not
you
Yes.
find health,
Yeah.
Correct.
Got
It's
it.
just those 2 horsemen.
Got it.
And the other 2 horsemen, I think, are in it. They're just not playable.
Right.
Like they'll show up at some point. They
They're
didn't show
busy.
up in the demo.
It's
that we
cool. It's a
played.
prequel too to all of them.
I like that. I really like that because
Do
I
you
always
really?
Yeah.
still haven't played 3 because I've been so busy. I haven't played a lot of games. I
Man,
want to
they've
play.
all been prequels.
Dude, Darksiders 1 and 2 are awesome.
1 and 2 are like kind of around the same time.
Right. It's like they've not progressed after the end of 1 yet.
Well, 3 did, right or no?
I think
I haven't played
think-
3. I can't comment
remember.
on
I
it.
think like yeah. It doesn't matter though.
It doesn't
man.
matter.
All right.
But
doesn't
they
matter,
always
Kyle.
allude to like them back in the day. They allude to the history of them, and I think it's cool that now we get to see a little bit.
Sure.
It's cool because you level up in this game and stuff. You get abilities, but the game is based around so if you're a higher level than a friend, they could still play with you. So you'll never feel like, oh man, I'm like left in the dust kind of thing like that. You can
Some
easily
Destiny,
hop in.
Destiny vibes.
I think
Left in the dust.
what Destiny
Get your
having
light
dust?
up.
Oh, you're right. If your light
Yeah.
level's not there, you can't even play. dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like some like abilities you can unlock from killing enemies, and you can like level them up by killing the same enemy.
Oh,
We're
that's
gonna
cool.
have the arena baby, the Crucible. I forgot what it's called exactly, but I was way into that.
Have we ever done top 10 arenas?
Kingdom Hearts.
We got to do that.
No.
Top 10 arenas.
I saw 2 bosses too, Jones. I'm curious which ones you did.
I think I only did 1 boss.
Was it just
I think
like
there were
the
2 different
standard-
demos, and
was
one
it
of them was just a boss.
Like the standard, like there was like a one that was like a really standard, just like demon. Looked pretty early on. Pretty simple dude. Pretty simple move set going on.
Nice.
did he spawn ads? That guy?
No,
The
You're
boss
thinking
that
of the Scrooge McDuck one.
Then okay, yeah.
Did you fight any skeletal warriors?
No, I don't remember Skeletal Warriors. Lots of demons though. I
Excellent.
feel like killing demons.
Cool.
They
Any
like,
Balrogs?
the boss that they fought kind of looked like a Barlog.
Perfect.
Barlog.
I'm in.
Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Best arenas.
Best three. What's the one in Stranglethorn?
I think it's just like the arena, Gurubashi Arena
Yes,
or something.
that's
Nice.
Number
we
one.
we pulled it out, dude.
well
Jeez.
done.
Yeah, there's new abilities you unlock. Like you can get the sweet fire dash. You dash, like light up fire and stuff like that. So there is like some form of progression, which is cool.
Nice.
I wrote down. I'm trying to remember if you used this in Platform 2, but didn't Strife have like a grab arm? Couldn't he like reach out
They
and
both, I
grab
think,
enemies
had
and
that.
pull it closer? And I
Yeah.
can't remember if you do that again.
I
in
think they both have.
platforming.
They both have like their double trigger mode too, and they're separate. They have this charge meter that builds up too. That you just do damage and eventually just builds up, then it unleashes itself. And I was like, hey, is this just an auto like unleash kind of thing? He's like, yeah. In testing, no one was using the meter actually.
Same.
So we just made it happen. I was like, oh, okay.
I respect that
makes
because
sense.
I hold on to it for way too long every time.
Totally.
Strife also has like a ghost ability, so you can spawn a clone. Everyone will go after that guy.
Oh,
and then you can
I didn't see that.
Run around.
How much story stuff?
There's kind of a lot actually. Like the cutscenes going on. Like they're like comic book cutscenes. I guess a lot of the Darksiders had that. You know, it looked like the other Darksiders.
I actually was kind of surprised. Like Strife is very opinionated. Like he's very sassy.
He's kind of a
They
slick talker.
said he's very heavily inspired by like Deadpool to me.
Yeah.
Because War is like
definitely
very,
got that kinda attitude.
very serious.
Yeah.
There was so at the end of the
Interesting
demo,
combo.
there was the boss, this really cool boss, some like rat demon thing working for Lucifer,
Great.
collecting all this gold and everything. Like so, you find
Collecting
him
gold.
on
Oh, that's so
you're
cool.
like fighting him on piles of gold, and he's going under the gold and popping out.
right.
He starts. You know what? I think there was Skeleton Warriors here. So he summons out coffins, Huber, and if you don't destroy them, like skeletons would come out. And if you could just leave them open, and it would. I think you said you would get like a reward or something, maybe if you left it open, maybe achievement or something like that. But he would like spawn out new things coming out if you left them open. So like some sort of crowd control, like a basic mechanic to keep aware of, I guess. But it seemed pretty, but it's just cool. It's not just a straightforward dodge, shoot, dodge,
Were
shoot.
they just the coffins popping up, or was he doing?
He
some,
was
like,
making them pop up. Then he did a part where he made like clones come out of him,
Kabuto, bro.
and he had to figure out which was the right clone. So he actually had like 3 or 4 phases. I was pretty surprised.
Nice.
It's like, wow, that's pretty in depth. But
the
I
animation
thought it was pretty
jutsu
sick. It
vibes.
ran really well. The version I saw, I assume it was PC when I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually want to play this. It's coming out this winter.
Excellent.
Nice.
So I'll be using it. It's a great, looks like a
Yeah.
great co-op game.
Let's play.
That makes me pretty
I
excited,
dibs.
dude.
I dibs Brad's partner.
You're character locked, so when you pick a character, like in the middle of
Who do you
gameplay, you
wanna
can't
be?
be like, "Oh, let's
I don't know.
swap."
You're
Like,
gonna have to fight Kristen though.
I mean, you can.
Oh, second playthrough maybe. Maybe I'll settle for Jones.
I feel like I feel like Hubert
Second
can't be the
place.
wisecracker, dude. He's gonna hate.
No,
Silver Medal.
yeah. And I
Hubert's
like
not
War.
a wisecracker.
War's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
War's classic,
Death,
dude.
yeah, War's classic.
I
Death
think War
is
is
the
Hubert's
best.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, Death
Death-
was the best.
Yeah.
What else did we have? Do we have the blood
Why
list?
is cracking?
Whatever the blood list was that we're going through.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
Oh,
Espire.
dude. Okay. This is VR. This is like a stealth action VR game, like Metal Gear Solid style, baby.
Whoa.
Okay, I need
So-
that trailer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Me
hope
too.
there
I
is
need to
one.
see this.
Espire.
So you're playing in like a robot body.
Okay.
Me just throw this into you, Huber. You throw it in here. You're a robot. You got a trank on your hip. You got a pistol, like lethal.
Yeah.
Then I also picked up a big rifle that was just like strap into me, dude.
Dude.
They told me so. This game is like you're going through areas. There's guards like patrolling around. You could sneak through a lot of stuff, or you could shoot them.
Yeah.
I had a gadget, Huber.
Dude,
and-
that robot looks cool.
How are you moving?
Oh, so it's VR.
Yeah.
I was playing on the Oculus Quest, Jones. We got to bring this over.
Very cool.
How I was playing is just like free movement. I'm pretty sure there's like different types of movement if you get sick from VR or anything like that. But pretty much, you're just some sick robot. You're going through these like little environments. You can climb up walls. Some walls. There's like SWAT guys patrolling around. Yeah, this is what you look like when you're playing. This is probably the thing I played. But yeah, that's your trank gun, dude. So there's guards going around. You can shoot them. You can.
Whoa, did you like say freeze?
You can do that.
Awesome.
They had it disabled for my demo because it was just loud, but you could go up ahead and say freeze, like out loud, and they'll like.
Oh, it does say that. It says
Yeah.
say freeze. So
They
cool.
also said you could like distract them with audio, like guards. There was like a
Oh, instead
split.
of knocking, you can be like chee chee.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's also a cool little like Splinter Cell camera you had on your arm, so you could like hold your arm around a corner and you could see guys on your other arm like around the corner.
Yeah.
You could place it on a wall and just have a camera going around everywhere. You have like detective mode too.
Oh.
You could like push up on your head, see everybody. But the coolest part is they said you could like ghost all the levels.
Perfect.
You
Silent
could,
assassin.
You could do like non-lethal.
Heck yeah.
Trank gun. It was just like I felt like I was playing like a VR Metal Gear Solid almost. Just kind of really scratching that itch. It was a pretty short demo, but it was really fun. Pretty good shooting too. I think they said they had The guys that did Red Orchestra and Killing Floor, maybe.
Okay.
Like
Feel the
they
impact.
specifically helped on the shooting. So with the big rifle I had, I could like aim down the sights. It was like one of the most accurate VR shooters I ever played.
Were you using those touch controllers?
Yes.
Yeah, those look so cool.
Yeah, it's
dude.
really cool, dude.
Like you're just watching these people over their shoulder. It just seems like hyper
yeah.
accurate.
So in the Quest, it's not plugged in either. So you're free for. I was taking a knee everywhere, Kyle.
Nice.
There was guys coming. I was like hiding behind stuff so they wouldn't see me.
Oh,
You gotta
love
go
that,
David.
man.
You gotta go
Yeah.
David Hayter every time you say freeze,
Freeze!
freeze.
Give me your dog tag.
Yeah.
But it's awesome, Jones. I want you to play this.
I'm
I gotta bring the
curious,
Quest,
yeah.
man. It's really cool. I'm really looking for. I want to actually play more of this game too.
Nice,
It
dude.
felt really like pretty polished. It's pretty early. They said to me still, but
Kyle,
the
you
dudes were like
love-
stoked.
You love VR. Are you stoked on this?
I'm stoked to get a new VR headset, dude.
You're
over
This is not a
Yes.
PSVR game, right? Like
Yeah.
the,
No,
like
you can play it.
PSVR
It
just
has one,
But
too.
I mean, it just doesn't work like
Yeah,
those
of
guys
course.
were. Where like you just look at your
Yeah.
gun and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, stop it.
But it was cool because the Trent gun, you have to like pull back the thing to shoot again. But with your normal pistol and your rifle, you have like a clip, and you have to actually put a clip in.
Whoa.
Just nice little touches for each different weapon.
I like
Nice.
Yeah. It was, had Max Payne. He specifically brought up Max Payne like slow mo to me.
Cool.
I was like, oh yeah, dude.
Bullet time.
Because you have like a
Excellent.
meter you could burn to use slow mo.
Oh, there we go.
The meter burns like slow mo and like other abilities you use, so you can't just be super OP the whole time.
that. Cool.
Can you use the slow mo for stealth as well?
I mean, if you want.
So yeah, like I would like slow down time as I come up for a stealth kill, before the
Yeah.
guy turns around or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, you can also pick up bodies too. I forgot about that. So if you kill a body, you can pick up the body and move
Oh,
it.
that's pretty
Nice.
Yeah.
cool.
Do
In
you
VR,
know
I haven't
both
done that.
hands?
How was
What?
the
Do you
animation
need
for
both
that?
hands?
Yeah. Like,
Cool.
I don't know if you've lived until you've picked up a dead body off the floor in VR and moved it. That's a rush.
Feel like
Makes you feel like you've never felt more like Snake in your life. It was awesome.
Cool.
Highly recommend it.
Dude, is Dishonored in VR? I wanna move
Dishonored,
Yeah.
you would puke everywhere.
I wanna move
like
a
a tel-
You're using Blink, you're gonna barf everywhere, Hubert.
Well, actually, a lot of VR games blink. I wonder.
All right, Jones.
because I want to move.
All right,
a
that's
That's how you
corpse
move.
to
For a
Sonic.
lot
I'm
of them.
just kidding.
you know?
This guy,
I wonder.
man.
This guy. What else?
He's always trying to prove you wrong, dude.
Evil Genius 2. Okay, so I didn't get to play this. I just saw a demonstration. Jones, are you familiar with the first one? I thought you were talking to me about this.
This was just like every now and then I pull like a game trailers classic because I just saw all the trailers for this because like they were coming into the website. So I just remember this game's advertising. I never actually
So
played Evil.
This game
Genius.
is-
Apologies if that was
they
misconstrued.
described it as a lair builder. The
Lair
whole-
builder,
The
okay.
whole game is like
Okay.
around building your evil organization, building up your lair, trying to take over the world.
Incredibles vibes.
What are you doing? Oh, I thought you were.
Damiani's like he's looking
Yeah, I
for
thought
the
you were
clip. It's like
flipping
it's
them
right
off.
there on the
That's
top.
what I thought you
It's
were
right
doing.
there on the top.
I was
Yeah.
like, what's happening, dude?
No, below that's too. The reveal trailer.
So intense.
There you go.
All right.
Game trailers.
But yeah, there's 4 different supervillains to pick from. I only got to see one, which is the guy from the original one, the bald dude. You get to start off the game by picking your island, or you pick, your distinct island. You could make it however you want. They specifically showed us like a base that they're trying to cover up, Huber. It was a casino, disguised as a casino, and like tourists come to this place and gamble. But there's also the good guys. I forgot the exact term they use them, but they were like coming to spy on you.
This is so cool.
So they try to infiltrate your base, and you have to catch them trying to infiltrate. Like they could be disguised as one of your workers, but they might have something a little off about them. Like one of them had like a strap that like holds guns, and like your workers don't do that. So you could send someone to kill them. There's traps you could set up. They set up
That's
like
so
a combo
awesome.
of traps. It's in this trailer actually. There's
So
like,
it just if you're observing, it pays off.
Yeah.
If you're actually paying attention to the tiny little people.
There was like an agent walking through, and they had a fan push someone into laser. It's this trap pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's a giant fan that pushes this agent into a thing of lasers. Then it falls into a shark pit. So you're gonna set up all these traps through how you're gonna keep track of your agents. This base, they only showed us 1 floor, but there was 5 they had, and it was like pretty sizable base.
Yeah.
She died.
So if you're, apparently this had like I never heard of this game really before this, but it's a big or like a diehard community.
cool.
And they were talking about like feedback with the community and everything like that. They're working on that stuff. It had a really cool vibe. That total 60s spy.
Yeah.
Great
The
music.
Incredibles. I just saw when I was checking in to watch this stream while I was leaving E3. I saw that this was doing moderately well. The first one on Twitch right now. Because a lot of
Really?
people were like, What's,
so
the,
people
what's
are,
this
like,
evil genius thing?
discovering
And
it
cooking
now,
up the old one.
That's really cool.
Like the
Love that.
original Banjo-Kazooie's.
Yeah.
Doing well on Twitch right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's a
good game.
Huber part. So there's henchmen that are actually your basic like unit you could train to make do whatever you want. But there's also henchmen, Huber, you can go out and recruit to become like more elite units. They showed some guy like walking around, some big buff dude walking around.
Roller.
Hero units.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, this
Nice.
is such a Huber unit.
Can you control that unit or just the base?
you can like control like a lot of the units. A lot of them are really automated because there's so much going on. They don't expect you to automate everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they're pretty smart what they're gonna do. But they showed, like they were taking control of the main supervillain, and they brought in like a minion, and he just shot him.
Whoa.
They killed him, dude. And like a body bag popped up, and some guy came up by with like a vacuum and just sucked him up and like took him away his body bag. And one last final thing I thought was cool is like they're starting to build inside their base. They're like building like a little zone. There has like little guys working on it, but then they can cancel like mid build and just build something completely different. So if you're building something, it takes like a little bit. It's not like
Yeah.
Warcraft 3 where it's just like under construction, you can't see anything. Like you're actually seeing them do it.
And it's not like a mobile game where it's like come back tomorrow.
Exactly, but
it's
they're-
like you're checking the whole
Yeah,
thing.
you're checking, you're
Yes,
watching.
yes.
But if you're like, oh man, actually I don't like that, I'll just change it real quick. So it's like you don't have to cancel the whole bloody thing. You make slight adjustments, which is really sick for a game where it's like all about building. So
Do you
this
get
game
to
was
choose
awesome.
where you put it? Where you start building?
So what I saw was there was already you pick your island.
Yeah.
But what I saw was a base that was already built, pretty much.
Gotcha.
But he just picked a random spot and started building.
Nice.
And you could combine the rooms, so it's not like you just build a room and that's the room. It's not just one layout. You could like combine like a food thing with like a locker or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
man! This thing with the elevator that led up into
Yeah.
like the base of the station.
Yeah,
like,
which I was really
oh,
happy. It's
man.
like not all your bedrooms are gonna look the same, or or
Yeah.
like a eating unit or something like that.
Do you think you can have an MI1 kill where an elevator leads into spikes?
Probably.
Cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's spike kills.
Cool.
I always like those spikes were weird, dude. I think about them all the
They
time.
are in MI1?
Yeah,
They're
just-
so weird. Yeah, it's freaky. Like, did they go in and install those spikes?
Do all elevators
for the
have those?
kill?
I assume that forever. I still assume today
Me
that
too.
all elevators just have spikes
Me
on the
too.
top.
Like booby traps.
Yeah.
Oh, one final thing.
I'm glad I'm not alone with that, Kyle, because those spikes, dude,
with the Emilio.
Impactful.
so memorable.
Yes, impactful, dude.
One final thing. There's 4 evil geniuses you could be. They each have their own campaign too, which I thought was a cool little touch, like story, because it's,
that is
it's
really
like
cool.
a direct continuation from the first one, I guess. One of the units, or I guess like a famous unit from the first game, is one of like the main guys you can play as now.
Cool.
So if you're a fan, man, get that lore. Get caught up on Evil Genius.
I know, I was just thinking that.
the
really,
cinematic
really
universe.
Gotta play now.
What's next?
No straight
Sniper
roads.
Elite VR, K-Huber. I know you love Sniper Elite.
Yeah, I played Contracts. I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
It was a very small demo, very short demo. It was essentially one walkway. I played this on PSVR with the gun attachment, the plastic gun thing.
Yeah.
I never really used that before.
This works better for that than anything, actually, because I
Yeah.
think it would be a little weird with 2 Oculus, where like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
fixed distance between
Oculus
the
would
two.
be sick if you had pistols or
Sure,
something.
but you want a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty cool. It was very basic. Like what I was doing, I was just sniping dudes in a very tiny little area. But it's really cool just in VR, holding up the gun to see
Yeah.
through the scope, and you're
That is
actually
so
seeing it. It looks
cool.
awesome.
Silent
Silent
scope,
scope,
dude. Yes.
Has the X-ray kills in VR, man. When you see a skeleton, you shoot him in the face, and you see it
Yeah.
right in front of your face. It looks really awesome. It was a 2-minute demo maybe, but it was just
Damn.
a proof of concept to me that it could work. It was on PSVR. It was a little wonky sometimes. I had to calibrate it a little more than I'd probably want to, but they said they're still working on
How
all
did
that
the
stuff.
scope look through it?
Pretty good. You could slow down time like you can in the other ones, and when you did that, it would zoom it in even more.
Got it.
So I assume this though isn't you walking around at all. To me, it's.
Oh, you walked around.
Oh, okay.
You walked around. I was
Okay.
physically moving around.
Cool.
It-
Do you have a
it-
pistol also, or just a
So I
rifle?
had I had the sniper rifle, and I had an SMG kind of thing, and there was grenades you could pick up and throw at dudes and stuff like that. Yeah.
So it's not just.
No,
hanging
it's
out and
not.
sniping.
It's not like an arcade game where you're just sitting there sniping.
Got it.
But the area I played was just very small, so I don't know the scope of it.
Sure.
But yeah, I was moving around. I was taking cover, shooting dudes. pretty cool.
Neat.
I would like to see more, but yeah, there's not a lot I could say about it. It was just really short and small. I played it like twice just to get a better grip on it, but it was fun. If you like Sniper Elite and you have VR, you should check it out. You owe it to yourself.
Cool. Sniper Elite.
Sniper Elite VR, and where'd the list go? I don't know what the list is.
Where's that list?
Damiani's up next with No Straight
No
Roads.
straight
No
roads.
straight roads. Okay, cool.
Transferring a footage thing for Ben's. Hang on.
What?
What?
was
I
that?
think he talked to Chat. I think Chat heard him at least.
What?
What?
Did not hear that?
Did not hear it.
Oh, transferring footage for Ben real quick. I saw.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
All right.
30 seconds it says.
Do your guys'
Did it-
eyes ever burn?
What?
My eyes just burned. They're just like,
Oh, dude, yeah, I think
sure.
it's dehydration. honestly. Yeah, my eyes
You
are
got,
really
you
got
got
the
clear
water.
eyes?
He's good.
Yeah.
You got clear eyes?
What's
He just got water. He's good.
I'm good.
It's like, yeah, I got some eye drops, so I'll put them in.
Yeah, later.
Next
later.
time I rotate off the desk,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
eye drop up, get some
Definitely.
wings.
Please remind me to bring the Quest. I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. The Oculus Quest.
You hoard
No.
the Quest, man.
I mean, I should just to spite you.
Who was
brand new
it? Somebody
tech.
wanted it though. Somebody was like, "Hey, can
I want to
get
play
that
Blood
quest?
and Truth.
It was
on
it was
PSVR.
Jones.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It was
Oh,
Jones.
okay.
Jones wants that
Yeah,
quest.
Jones
Get
wants
up
it.
on that Quest.
Yeah.
Get up on that quest.
But I'm the VR guy.
Wait,
now.
does nobody have like a 30-second impression from today? Is there a game that you played for like 30 seconds?
Yeah, a student
Jones has
game.
one.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, do it.
Sons of Ra. It was really cool. It was from these students. It was like a one-on-one tower defense lane game. So you
Did I
had
see you play that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just really cool. Again, is from like students, but it was you're gaining money continuously, and then you can build a couple towers and a couple additional things like a bank or a barracks to make your unit stronger or earn money faster. So then you build the towers, but then the goal is to flood the lane with units. So
Uh-huh.
you're like pitting units against each other.
Love stuff like that.
Different units cost different currencies, and then it's whoever like destroys the other base. Just really, it was really sound.
What is
and
the graphical style?
It's like 3D.
Oh.
It's like isometric, looking or like top down, so it's looking down at the units. It's pretty low budget.
Did
but
you say the name of this game?
Sons of Ra?
Sons of Ra.
Or
You did
Son
say
of
that.
Ra,
Yes.
yeah. Pretty cool game though. I'd like want to stream it with you guys. I think it'd be a fun group stream.
We got to support the students.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it have a schedule or
I
something?
think it's.
or is it-
They said later this year it's coming out.
Oh, neat.
so-
Just PC.
Yeah.
Or
I think so. Yeah. So small little game.
Cool.
They were just chilling in the back.
I love chilling in the back,
Yeah.
dude. The short lines.
Sat down to play it. They were like stoked. They were like, yeah.
Jones, I feel like we should do. Oh no, we got our B-roll up. Okay.
Yeah. So next up, No Straight Heroes.
No more.
No More Heroes.
They're gone.
3. We're out. It's late. It's E3.
It is not late.
For me, it is. I've had like no
For
sleep.
me, it is.
We're going
Oh,
all
I'm tired
night.
now, boss man. No Straight Roads. This is a new game from Metronomic, a new studio that is. Let me make sure I get this right. Founded by former director of Final Fantasy 15, one of the directors, Juan Haas.
One of the
Throwing-
many
Sorry,
Throwing credentials around.
Lead game designer of Final Fantasy 15, and Daim Zayden, concept artist of Street Fighter 5.
Wow.
So they got some credentials.
They got some
here.
muscle.
Putting together this game, it's what's up?
I can kind of see it. The Street Fighter 5 concept art that's like very smooth. It's like
Okay.
it's like 2 or 3 colors on the character. It's all like very flat coloring.
Okay.
Neat.
I trust your judgment on that, Kyle. Like, no, I really do.
The illustration of Hot Ryu.
Oh, okay. Which it was like earlier in the trailer you saw it, because this is just the trailer. Unfortunately, this
Sure,
is the
but
only
I
trailer.
think even her that character style, like she's very flatly colored. You know.
Yeah. So the protagonists are Mayday. You're seeing Mayday right there, and she's the basically lead singer / guitarist, and then you have her drummer Zook, who joins you there. And essentially, what this game is, they described it as. It's a world where you fight with music within the context of a proper action game, similar to Nier Automata, Kingdom Hearts, and Devil May Cry. So it is like a light character action. I would put it that way. It's not. It didn't feel like as mechanically heavy as any one of those games I mentioned on there. But what you're seeing here is not the DJ right there. This is what we got to play. We got to play that battle right
That's a
there.
boss fight,
that was
yeah.
it was a boss fight. And so what it is that.
these
You are
worlds.
trying to take over basically like concert halls essentially, and you're challenging these bosses for like to take them over. So you're challenging this one is the footage of earlier. It's a DJ essentially. So your rock music it uses rock music, it uses EDM, and then there's always like a third layer of music. And this boss, it's disco. So the environment is kind of like he's at the center of this kind of like accretion disc that keeps spinning around like the turntable essentially, and there are planets that are on each of the tracks in the battle. And essentially, he's got like an asteroid field around him, so you can't run up and melee attack him. You can't do that. You have to actually run between the different tracks as they're being spun, and you want to get off of them before they're spun because they'll highlight red essentially, and it'll slam the planet around really fast and hit you. So you got to get off that track, but you want to destroy the planets to get ammo because you got to shoot it from range essentially, and that's how you take down the first phase of the battle.
Shooting with a guitar.
Yeah, you're basically like launching out notes. You collect notes and you're firing out like notes essentially like that. It's pretty cool. It's all music theme. And then it starts to work in some of like the beat mechanics, the rhythm essentially. The boss will start shooting like a laser kind of like track across around it. And it's like in like every second beat they're explaining it happens. So you got to like pay attention to like the music. It'll help you dodge better. They throw in like the spinning and stuff. There's a part where you get isolated into this like vertical part at the edge of the like the disc area, and it does these kind of like laser attacks on. There's 4 squares, and you can only move in 2D basically at that point, and you have to like dodge them in rhythm essentially because they'll show you the lines where they're gonna come down, kind of like orbits. And then they go like the first one's really easy. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can stand on any one of them, and as the one before you is going off, you just dodge back into it. But then it starts getting crazy. It starts making them loopy and stuff. So you can't it's harder to figure out which one's going to go off first. But like if you just dodge in time with the rhythm, you kind of have a chance because that's your window, like your iframe window essentially.
Cool.
So it's kind of like you do like it is interesting. It's unique how it's working.
Did you get to do any of this free roaming?
No. So the only thing else we got to see was there's the tutorial part that basically explained the mechanics. It was just like a basic like training room, like Street Fighter training room style thing. Like it's just plain white. Got to see like there's a parry mechanic that's really cool. Comes into play at the end of the boss battle.
Nice.
Essentially, you can like swing your guitar to knock back. The last part of the fight, I think it was black hole orbs, where like the camera gets all weird. You're like on this like single track, and it looks like you're just in the middle of like space, and the DJ is in the left corner, and the camera's kind of like tilted on an angle, so it's all disoriented. And you're running at the camera, essentially tilted, and these like orbs fly at you with the beat, and you gotta parry them back. And to me, it looked like black holes being destroyed, and like dark energy matter being redirected at the boss and stuff. It was insane looking. Really good music. There's also a thing where you can jam out on your guitar to use music to power up environmental weapons. There were like these rockets that were positioned on different parts of the tracks, and if you went up to them, you start jamming out.
Nice.
Yeah, they
That's
like
cool.
it powers them up, and then they fire off.
Nice.
And in the tutorial area, they like had a bunch of those for you to practice.
So do you think that most of this game is like exploring between boss fights?
So yeah, there's the.
But it looks like,
you got a journey to the concert hall, so you go through like areas, and then you arrive at them, and then you have like the showdown. With basically the person in, like the act that is
Because that
going
boss
on
fight
there.
sounds very elaborate. It sounds like it's long.
Oh yeah, like you come. Yeah, it was not too terribly long, honestly, but it
okay.
had 3 phases to it, so it was decent length. But yeah, there's all this crazy stuff I did not get to see that's going on here. I was like, oh whoa, this looks awesome. The drummer. You could also play as the drummer in the tutorial area. Basically. Faster, like their combos are a lot faster. They also had one mechanic I didn't get to see. So you see how the bars were changing up and down? It's like you put up and down on the
Oh,
controller.
it looks like you can just swap between characters.
Yeah, it's just up and down on
Okay,
the
cool.
D-pad, essentially, I
Great.
believe. And you just toggle between them. Cool. And yeah, they had different play styles. It's pretty cool. I just really wish I could have seen more of the in-between segments. There's a lot going on here.
It looks like they're going just straight in most of them.
Yeah,
Maybe-
it does look that way, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah, I mean it might be
Yeah.
linear. I
Yeah.
don't think they're anything more than like linear segments.
Cool.
Yeah,
do,
like
do you
levels.
fight anyone in that stuff? Do you think?
I'm gonna guess yes, because I think
Yeah.
you see it in one of the parts. It's just we just went right into a boss battle essentially, and I will say this: it's in a good place. I think like it needs just a little bit more polish.
Sure.
The hardest thing to communicating some of the boss's moves visually, I don't think I think it needs a little bit refinement. I mentioned that little red laser beam going across. It's got like a particle effect, so it looks staticky, and it's going across this very chaotic and like field, and it's not really easy to track. And trying to go off the beats when there's a lot of other effects going off. It was I played and there was someone else who was there with me, and we both talked about it after, and we agreed it could use a little bit better. It could communicate a little bit more efficiently or just better to the player, and give them feedback.
You gotta
to
say
judge.
that while the developers are there.
Huh?
The developers listen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, sure.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. Like,
Gotta let 'em have it,
here's
man.
Hopefully they're
I don't
watching.
know.
You gotta
I'm weird about
say it
like
like it
giving
is.
feedback to developers. Like when it's my job to cover it, it's like
I get it.
it's like yeah, I can tell you that, but like if they asked me, I would be like sure, I'll tell you, but like I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
volunteer that
Yeah, I'm with you,
information.
definitely.
Yeah.
So this kind of game I'm way into, Damian.
Sure, yeah.
I'll tell you my primary fear.
Okay. Yes.
And you see the hashtag at the end of this trailer is that it will simply be rock is good, EDM is bad.
Oh.
I don't like
You don't
any
like
of
that?
that kind of like music snobbery, like genre snobbery. Like all EDM is bad music, rock is authentic, EDM is awful. You know what I mean? Like I hope that is not
I
the
don't
actual
think.
message of
I
this
don't
game.
think that is.
Maybe at the end you combine.
That's what I hope, man. I hope
Yeah.
you
They
like.
talked about some of the philosophical stuff behind the design of the game, especially the bosses. There's some like deep like like meta stuff going on there.
Okay.
Like they put a lot of thought into it. I'll say that. How well it's communicated in the game, and how well you actually interpret that, I think remains to be seen.
Sure.
But I didn't get the vibe that it was as like kind of superficial as that, or as simple as that.
Okay.
And I think there's a little bit more put into the thought and crafting of that message.
Ian, could you Google hot Ryu box art?
Okay, give me a minute.
Okay.
Kyle.
Is this the missing link?
It's the missing
It's
link.
gonna solve everything.
No, I really think I think it might be that artist that we're talking about.
Are you trying
Did you
to-
ever play Fury? Like
Oh,
as far
I
as,
know
like,
Fury is. I never
as,
played it,
as
but
far as the
style-wise.
structure of the game is, it seems
Okay.
very much like
Yeah,
Fury in a way.
rock versus EDM.
I'm gonna show it to you before I show it to chat,
Sure.
just to make sure we're talking about the same.
Sure.
Vet it. We gotta vet
We're gonna
this.
vet
mine.
this.
Not this! No! No! Yeah, that's it. That's it. I love that box
Here.
art. I think it's so good. So that's the same artist we're talking about, right?
I believe so. Yeah, if they actually did that key art, I'm not sure.
Sure.
Sometimes get different, but I'm gonna assume yes. Kyle,
Look how jolly they are. That's just like that.
Yeah, they're happy,
they're
having a good
perfect box
time.
art. I love that.
Yeah.
it's like they're watching that gameplay. And, whoa. There's someone evil back there.
Thank you, Ian.
Yeah, Kyle. There's another little snippet about the game. And, oh my gosh! Please stop.
A little more. Zoom in a little more. the scan. It's just the lines coming out of the crotch. Little crotchal
It's an
explosion. dude.
explosion.
I tried to go full screen, but it was off. There we go.
Hit F11. You got it.
no, on the in
Oh,
XSplit.
Twitch is gonna ban us for this.
yeah.
We're in trouble.
You could, if you wanted a full screen, you could click the trailer scene.
I did, but press conference was
Oh, okay.
not visible.
That's all right. Here's what they had to say. I have the line here about music, the representation of music, Kyle. Let me see if this maybe alleviates some
Oh
of your
yeah, I'd actually
concerns.
love to hear this. I would love to hear this.
We want to represent music.
Should
in
I
its
put Ryu's crotch away or?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we see his feet?
He
Can
wants
you? I think
to-
it's cut off.
Oh,
No,
no,
it's- it's
denied.
cut
You
off.
were
Oh.
sorry.
A rip here though. He's got a rip.
Too much budget went to the crotch. I'm sorry. We want to represent music in its entirety, its culture, its creativity, and its many stories. We also respect the medium. We tell these stories in a way that can only be told in this video game. Yeah, we don't rely on cutscenes and more on visual storytelling. The game is not just about rock versus EDM.
Ooh.
It's also about the clash of ideals and different mindsets of why people play music.
Okay, cool.
There you go, Kyle. Thought that would
Everyone's
be a little-
friends at the end.
Yeah, I'm glad you read that. That was
Totally.
my
Yeah.
major concern with the game.
Yeah.
I'm super into that.
And like
It'll be
you-
Naruto vibes.
Also, really good 2D artwork in some of the scenes. There's like an introduction scene between you and the voice work. Forgot to talk about the voice work. It's fully voiced.
Yeah.
Really good voices. They were telling me it's all Malaysian actors as well. So like they sounded like really good for Mayday, And then the I forget the disco boss's name, but really good voice. It was a very commanding presence, like very intimidating sound. I liked it. I was like, this is
cool.
I was like, yeah, this is what I thought this would sound like. This is really good. And I'm trying to remember any of the other voices, but yeah, in general, it was really good work. Yeah.
It's cool. It's incredible style to just come out of nowhere. Looks great.
Rock on.
What's next on the blood list?
The blood list.
The blood list.
Do none of you have the blood list?
I got it.
Blood
Do you
list.
want? That's how you run. Like that
Next
scene right
is
there.
Watch
running up,
Dogs,
that was
Blood
you
and
running up to the
Hubert.
boss.
Watch
Yeah,
dogs.
there's
Watch
those.
dogs. Watch dogs. Legion.
Blood is entering the room.
Bloodworth.
Get some wings.
Bloodworth.
And wings.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Did you get wings? Did we get wings? I want wings.
We've all been eating on our own.
Solo wings, baby.
All right. I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get something to drink. I'll be right back.
Solo.
Eat these solo
Immediately.
wings.
Are you back? No, you're still going.
Who's back?
Dogs. Be a fourth. Be a
Yeah,
pal.
Brad was saying he was, and then I'm gonna have Creaky Jacket on camera.
Tag in.
I'm coming. I'm just getting tea.
Tag in.
This is the official start of the late crew, by the way. That,
Let me ask some questions before I go though. Did they hint at how many voice actors recorded?
no, but they talked
No.
a lot about stuff like being able to like modulate voices and stuff to make them sound different,
Oh.
as well as they were saying there's a lot of other crazy tech that they have that like after it's out at GDC they're gonna like probably do some deep dives.
Kyle, I will
Honest-
tell
go
you
ahead.
right now, my
Yeah.
character looked nothing like he sounded at all.
So there's
It
some
was
randomization
extremely
there. Yeah.
jarring. I
Were
had
you
to
like-
switch characters.
Were you the granny? And they're like, "Hello, mate. What's going
I
on?"
was just like this old-looking British white guy, and he sounded like it was weird.
What, like a demon?
No, it was weird. Yeah, it was like really
That's
deep.
funny because my characters
There's like
generally sounded like they
Yeah.
should.
I had to swap out.
I mean, they didn't have the
Scripted.
They didn't have the mouth movement down yet, but they sounded fine.
I had to swap out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering.
So I'm like, I'm gonna change characters.
That's so funny.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Bonus one over there.
Bonus.
There you go.
take that. He seems.
Bonus. Get bonus.
This is like a
We gotta get-
Zelda
yeah.
ice dungeon puzzle, just sliding.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
the way they move is crazy.
It's really satisfying.
Yeah, so basically the way the Watch Dogs Legion presentation went, they started us off with kind of a rundown, and we were the last. We somehow scheduled ourselves for the last Watch Dogs demo, and the guy was like, "Hey, I didn't go to bed last night or something." Yeah, they reiterated some things, but kind of went into deeper details on them. No main character.
Yep.
They pretty much very clearly said that. They stressed that they're not just skins on top of archetypes. Everybody in the world is different. But at the same time, they told me afterwards that like there will be things that will obviously repeat in some way or another. But
Yeah.
what I think it
Yeah.
is that like there's just a lot of different things that kind of
There-
mix and match together.
It's not like lower the expectations of like, oh my god, every single NPC is drastically different. They all have different mechanics. Like, no, there's a few archetypes, the perks and the backstory and their relationships are all randomized. So that's where that
Yeah.
variety comes in.
And the relationships is the other thing I hadn't even thought of. That is the new thing that's blowing my mind, because everybody had all these characters have relationships to other characters in the world. So they're saying like even the guards have these daily routines. Even the guards are gonna go home. They're gonna go shopping and all this stuff. So
in my demo blood, I went off.
you started
I
killing
did
guys.
crazy. No, I did crazy things. I went to a place and like it was there was a watch outside. I was like, tell me more about the relationships. I really want to dive into these mechanics. And I was like, all right, I have this guy recruited. Can I recruit his brother? I wanted the brother.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, if you look on the map, like you can see that at 9 p.m. he and his brother are going to be hanging out at this club partying. So I go to the club and it's like there's a little icon. It's like, all right, do you want to wait to 9 p.m.? So you wait and like time flashes forward. 9 o'clock, they come like I think it was when they were going to leave. So they come strolling out of the club And then things got like escalated randomly. The brother like was wanted for some like criminal act. So he like walks through a checkpoint and this drone just opens up, kills him right there, opens fire. The brother was like freaking out, like, whoa, just runs off.
Good lord.
This guy just dead.
Did his meter go up? Did he become like more prone to being
That guy, like the kind of the
a
interface,
resistance member?
a lot of the interface stuff they said was disabled for the demo, this
Sure.
specific demo. So like he's like, yeah, usually it'll say like deceased on this guy, but it's like not in the game right now.
Yeah, but so anyways, stuff like that. So one
Crazy.
of the things they were saying is, like, so if you go into a combat scenario and you kill a guard, then, you know, one of his family members might then become another guard to
Oh, right.
try to get revenge on you, kind of
Okay.
thing. You know, so like, and then would be way harder to somehow convince to get into DedSec.
Like a
Wait,
little bit of
hold
that
on,
Nemesis system vibe.
Hold
not,
on, though.
not
If you're wearing a mask and you kill somebody,
Yeah.
how are they gonna know, like, the brother? Will they know?
I don't think it's necessarily like revenge because
I think it's just
not
really
a
dead
character.
DedSec.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
DedSec.
DedSec did this.
I see.
Yeah.
I thought you meant, like, really
It's
specific.
DedSec
No,
versus
like, what?
I don't. What did they? There's probably
I'm
a name
coming
for
for you,
whoever
Brad
the bad guys
Ellis.
are. I forget what it was though. Like who the
I don't think they really went into like the main overarching like who we're trying to take down or anything.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I
them
wonder
talking
how,
about
like,
that.
they'll
Yeah.
evolve the story.
yeah. I think they did go into some of that, but it's
It's a lot.
not
There
as
was
escaping
so
me
much
as
When
I
I
info.
think about it, it, like, makes my brain hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
The lore of it.
But again, really want to stress that, you know, let's not. I love hype,
Keep it down.
but let's not
it in
overhype.
check.
Like, oh, because I like, again, after this E3 demo, I was like, oh, like my mind was racing with like, oh my god, like really, you can recruit everyone, like everything's so different. Like, I was an old grandpa, so I wasn't Helen, but I was like this other guy, and he was like, you know, he moved kind of the same. He did the same kind of hobble
Right, sure.
over. You know, so
Sure.
there's a lot of overlap when it comes
Of
to
course.
that stuff. So
Yeah. Along with that, they said that sometimes an action that you do will be good for one person, but obviously it's bad for somebody else.
Right.
So again, so like a lot of these decision making has consequences in some way. They talked about characters having 15 levels of progression, and you get different perks that unlock at key levels.
perks were pretty cool looking. One of them was you load your shotgun with coins.
What?
And it does additional damage. And it was
Okay.
like, then the perk I think was called like in for a pound. It was like pounds. Like, yes.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. But then I was gonna use that guy and I got like spotted and got like in this huge car chase out of control. And then I like switched over to another person and that guy was like off the grid for a while.
Can you just switch, like, mid-thing?
yeah, it's pretty easy to
well,
switch.
Yeah, you
'cause
go into the
aside-
menu and you.
Yeah.
So there's two ways you can do it. So you can go into the menu and basically hot swap, like just change characters and have the new character wherever you're at. So if you come up to a door and you're like, you know what, I really need a hacker for this. I've got an infiltrator right now, so you can swap your agent to be the hacker. The other thing that you can do is just like any other character in the world. You can see where your agents are on the map, and so then you can just kind of click on them on the map and be wherever they're at, kind of like GTA.
But you have to get rid of,
Yeah.
like, no, you have to be, like, not aggroed, right? Or something to do it.
For what?
To swap?
Probably, I would
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Can you bump into other agents? So if like I'm one character, can I like pass the another one somebody in my
I would
crew on the
think
street
so.
and be like, hey,
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
one of the other things too
Because I
that,
think
like,
they were
we're
on the
all-
map, Jones. I think there was a
They're
mini
totally
map.
on
That's
the map.
cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're all so obsessed with, or just really focused on this whole idea of you like getting all of these NPCs. But another thing that I found really surprising that I've seen other people at this E3 kind of manufacture their demos to give it a sense of randomness that maybe the game won't have. But like this mission goes all over the place. Like I almost get a sense that if I was doing this in the game, by the time I got to like the character after like this, infiltration here, I'd be like, wait, where did I even start this? What was even the point? I was trying to find that guy in the
Right.
Piccadilly who was good with drones, but then he, ran away, and so I had to go after, and then died in the process, and then Helen had to hack, and so I wonder if the campaign is just always kind of disjointed in that way, where it's so. I mean, you just said kind of the same thing. Like you were like, I had a side mission where I had a very specific character that I wanted to go get, and then he died, and then this other guy ran off. And what if you had followed him and chased him, and like tried to follow that thread? I could just see you kind of looking back at the last 20 minutes and being like, what was I even doing? I don't even remember like what mission I was on.
It is, Jones. I'm glad you brought that up. It is a little bit. Like I'm equally as excited for this game as I was. It played really well. Felt really good to play. Shooting especially felt really good. Really solid stealth mechanics. But I am a little worried that the story won't be as impactful and gripping as again. I'm so attached to Marcus. He was such a great lead. Like I'm a little worried about the main character in the cutscenes, because it was cool though. They showed the exact same cutscene 4 ways, so we saw like this view. The character, whoever you like go into it as, the characters will like move different. So Helen was kind of like hunched over, then this other guy was just really relaxed and like doing like kind of all over the place, and they'll react differently in the cutscene a little bit. But the person the person you were meeting in the quest, the like NPC character, the characters that don't change, the voice acting was stronger there because it was like a set character.
Well, I think about like the end of Final Fantasy VI, no spoilers, but like your whole crew gets together and you like stand up against like the villain at the end, and you can skip a bunch of characters in 6. So like when they all line up at the end, like you might be like, oh, there's a couple people, one character might have died, or there's a couple people that aren't in there. So I wonder if like there are points like that throughout the story, because they definitely emphasize like we the people, like we we are stronger when we work together. Like we can fight, we can resist this because we can all despite our differences, we can get on the same side. So I wonder if, even though there's no central protagonist, there's still like these side characters, because there is like Raj, there's a couple people like talking to you that I'm guessing are not playable, that are just kind of like your like the voice in your ear back at HQ. Yeah. So I wonder if there's cutscenes with them, and in the background you can see like your crew. You can see some people like, oh yeah, I haven't played as him for like a week. That's right, I forgot that guy.
When I swapped Jones, it was GTA style, where I swapped to a guy and it went to him and he was like playing cards in the park. Just classic.
Well, the Helen look at the river, that's classic GTA. That's a very Michael thing to like.
They talked about, I didn't really experiment with it, but they talked about the new melee system.
Yeah, it was
kind
pretty
of rock,
good.
paper, scissors, where there's punching, grappling, and dodging.
Yeah. So I beat a couple people up.
I'm pretty
Seemed
sure
good.
I just swung fists and didn't think about it.
Yeah, I was mashing it out.
I gotta admit, Huber, the one thing about Watch Dogs 2 that I'm getting into is I'm like his magic yo-yo is a weird melee.
I love it. I love that thing.
He's got this like green yo-yo that he uses. Like okay.
One thing.
So again, if you can like from melee standpoint, because I imagine most characters probably feel the same when you have when you use guns, but I imagine melee probably changes up considerably. Some people like to use their fists. Some people like to use weapons.
There was a lot of different attributes to the. So there are 3. So they say that like characters consist of like there's the backstory stuff, of course, but they consist of traits, classes, and perks. So those are all like separate dimensions of how your character is built. But the 3 classes and the one that we were able to choose between them. There was an enforcer, an infiltrator, and a hacker. The main things that I wrote down is the enforcer can use heavy weapons, and they have sticky mines. The infiltrator has so apparently everybody in Watch Dogs now has been like forced to have like an AR implant into their optic nerve.
Yeah, very Black Mirror.
And so but the infiltrator can actually like cloak themselves so that like
Infiltrator's awesome.
they can't be seen by people because of the AR. And then there's also AR. Do you remember what AR Shroud was?
Yeah, you go up to a corpse and you like do something so it's masked.
Oh,
so in real life, the corpse is there, but a person couldn't see it. It's like that scene in was it Mission Impossible? Maybe they have the big like thing in the wall or like in the hallway. Remember that? The people looking down the hallway and they just see a reflection. Remember that? It's like Mission Impossible 4, maybe. Damn it, Jones. Damn it, I always count on you for
you,
this.
And then the hacker,
Yeah.
the hacker has the spider bot, and they can also hack drones, which is actually really useful.
Oh, I would imagine.
And there's a lot of different kind of drones, which I was surprised by. There's like surveillance drones.
Cool.
And then there are like, well, I think other people can hack kind of the low level drones, but the hacker you need for like the ones that are like equipped with guns and things on them.
Yeah, because I wanted to see stealth and loud. So I went super loud GTA, like wreaking havoc in the city, driving around, running people over. And it was cool because the level you were really mattered. I was like level 9, and like things started out 1 star, and it was like, all right, just like level 4 cops or whatever coming at me, and I'm taking them out. Then it started escalating, and I got up to 3 stars, and then this like gunship drone came in,
Yeah.
and like doosh, doosh, doosh. It was like a shotgun blast, like took me out. I was like shooting at it so much, like didn't take it down. But like the earlier stages had like little small drones coming in, so it escalated in a really cool way.
Nice.
Yeah.
The one thing I feel like my demo might have contradicted this. I don't know if you noticed this or not. When he was talking about the combat scenarios, he said that if I don't pull a gun, enemies won't either.
Yes. Ooh. Yeah. Some like really.
I was pretty sure some security guard pulled a gun on me before I had mine out, but maybe I pulled it out and I just didn't remember it.
Yeah, the theory, what's supposed to happen is they will not pull a gun if you are stealthing your way through. They will, go non-lethal as well. There's a ton of non-lethal.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe they had
Yeah.
non-lethal weapons because
Yeah,
they
there's
did
a
say half the
ton.
weapons in the game are non-lethal.
Yeah. So like non-lethal pistols, non-lethal machine guns, tons of non-lethal weapons, and what I haven't decided if I like or don't like is when you're stealthing, if you get caught and you like kind of subdue a couple people, it'll go back to stealth. Like the base won't light up Phantom Pain style,
Sure.
everyone
Great.
freaking
Yes,
out,
yes.
running around looking for
Yeah.
him. Like you get caught by a dude, you take 1 or
30
2 out,
seconds.
and it's like
Yeah.
back immediately into stealth.
What-
So
yeah.
I don't know if I like that. It seems okay, but at the same time, I love like Dishonored, Brad, like stealthing through as much as I can, and then
The alarm goes off.
Then the alarm goes off. It's like, all right, time to get loud.
I totally blew my stealth, dude. I just like. But the cool thing with me, I blew my stealth, but the hacker can also put like you said, we put down the spider bots, and the spider bots, if you're not directly controlling them, they turn into like these cloaked turrets, and so that actually bought me time to go because I was supposed to wipe this server in this building. So
Yeah.
I put down a couple of spider bots like in the hallways, and then the guards were focused on trying to take those out while I was wiping the server.
Cool. That's I could see myself playing that way a lot. Like it would even be fun just to like take a drone and just like crash it into somebody.
Yeah.
And
well,
then,
that's the thing. Yeah. You
yeah,
can totally
and then
do. I
have
did
like
that.
some guards be like, "What is that?" and go over and like you were saying, Huber, like it'd be frustrating if I did that, and all the guards were like, "Wait a minute, that must obviously mean we're being infiltrated by that person right there," and you're like, "How did you know I'm over here?" Like
Yeah.
it'd be neat to really play with. Because again, like didn't play Watch Dogs 1 at all. I'm just like a couple hours into 2, and that's the stuff that really excites me is almost kind of in a Batman way, just seeing them freak out.
Yeah.
Like really just kind of deliberately knowing like the steps which I'm going to take to kind of like ping pong
there's the
your
cloak.
perspective
Yeah.
back and forth.
So here's the thing I talked about the mechanics for being downed. So when you get taken down, so you kind of saw the thing where they laid the person to rest or whatever. But generally, when you get taken down, you can either choose to surrender or to get back up and keep going. If you get taken down a second time, that's permadeath.
Like what happened. And
yeah.
I made sure to do both.
Yeah.
I wanted to see both again outcomes. I was like blasting through this demo. I wanted to consume as much as possible, get the nitty gritty answers. I was like, yeah, what happens if I surrender? What's the penalty here? Are we going to down level? Am I going to lose perks, XP, weapons? And it's like, your guy's on a cooldown. So it's
Yeah.
kind of just like,
They basically get held for a certain amount of
Yeah.
days, but
so you can surrender
you
and
can
just
wait
answer
it out, or
Or though,
you
this is
can
where it gets
prison
awesome.
break.
Yeah.
or apparently you can get a lawyer get a lawyer on your side and get them to negotiate with the cops and let them out early?
Yeah.
Wait, how long's the cooldown though if you don't do anything?
They
Probably varies based on what you did. Who knows?
Yeah, they didn't really say, so maybe
It's
it
gotta
could
be. It has to
has
be
to
A
be
lawyer
steep.
meaning that's someone you recruited into DedSec. So
Again,
like
you
that,
can recruit you can recruit the guards somehow.
Right.
Like
Well,
if you
but
manage to work because when you're looking at a person, so basically the way the demo started, we were like in a bar, and so you could go around and scan all of these people in the bar, like get their backstories, figure out like what kind of histories they have, what kind of skills they have. There's some guy that says like this guy's about to go do drugs. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna get this guy.
stay focused.
And then when you see people that you like, you can save their profile, so that way you can kind of go back to them
and,
later.
like, track 'em.
Favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, you essentially set up
Favorite.
favorites.
Yeah.
And then after we had done, I'd scan like 10 or 12 people. Then it's like, and then he's like, okay, well, which one do you want to pick? You know, but every one that you're scanning, not only does it have all this backstory and stuff, it also has like essentially like how much they like or hate DedSec. So there's some people that are already like, I
So
don't
you have
want to
to
have
earn their
anything to do
trust.
with them. There are other people that are neutral. There are other people that are already on your side. And then there's basically information on ways that you can warm up to them. Essentially missions that you can do.
Which, again, speaking of the limitations probably of this system, it's not,
Yeah.
you know, it was one character didn't like DedSec, so I was like, all right, we have to earn their favor. And it was like, attack a bookie or like erase data off the server.
Yeah, I had
And
the race data one for the
And
one
I was like,
did.
how many of these are there? And they're like, there's only like a few amount of origin stories right now. You know, that we don't have
You know
a
what I'm
final
thinking about,
number.
Huber? Heists, baby. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about, again, GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love laid the groundwork for a lot of this. And it'd be neat to, you know, kind of like you would recruit people for different parts of a job, and it'd be neat if you didn't even like see those people when you went to do the job. If you like were going to infiltrate a building and you hired a hacker to help you just take care of security, so I can send in my big tough guy to go fight, and then depending on the skills of that hacker, it'll make that part easier or worse, or
Yeah.
you'll make more money or whatever. And then so that'll just be like a voice in your ear. You'll just hear throughout the mission that particular character being like, okay, this part's clear, or
Yeah.
you know, hold on 30 seconds and then I'll have this door open for you. Instead of you actually physically doing that, or just whatever, like hire a driver and then he like pulls up in the car
would be
outside,
cool.
or like a lawyer, like you were saying, like
Yeah.
so that it's not all are you good at stealth or guns or hacking, and that's that's it.
The characters in your party talk to each other, which is cool.
That
They'll
is
like
cool.
pop up.
That's nice.
The that drone that she was just on, like flying around, I hacked that thing and it was like got on. It was really fun,
Nice.
super fun.
'Cause yeah.
flying this thing around in the city, I was like, oh my god, I'm never getting off this.
A couple of the kind of the end of the presentation, the couple of the last two bullet points they talked about. There's 5 main quest lines in the story, with they say 60 plus story missions altogether.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Just major arcs that you're
Yeah,
going through.
and they did say that there's 4-player online co-op, but they didn't really get into
They were
it.
like, more coming later,
Yeah.
so let's go PSX. Everyone's saying more later. Let's get that PS.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. That could be cool. Like, it wasn't really cool in Assassin's Creed when they did it. Like in Unity, I think that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It like
But-
wasn't good.
Watch Dogs has really cool multiplayer, like the like
okay.
infiltrating someone's
right.
game.
I
and, like,
forget. Like,
Watch Dogs
I
2 was
remember that,
really
but
really good.
Was there
Yeah.
co-op in the other ones? I can't remember.
I don't remember there being co-op.
I wonder if
that way.
I have to be one of your people, or if I can bring in my dude.
Oh,
or
yeah, that'd
or
be
any
great.
one of
Yeah.
my people, or maybe
Intriguing,
swap to them on the fly, like
Yeah.
just kind of yeah. I mean, what I feel extremely confident in is, regardless of the limitations of how this works, how elaborate it is, I'm gonna have a field day.
yes.
Particularly being like, I want my crew to be this.
Yes.
Like I think I will be very discerning when I have a person and I'm just like, no, get out of here. You're not, like I already have somebody on my team like you. I don't need
Yep.
this person. So that kind of shopping for friends.
It was pretty much because I
shopping,
immediately
shopping.
Huber, you doing any shopping?
I did a bunch of shopping.
Yeah, we did some shopping. So there's more or less so we went to Camden here, this area with all the graffiti and stuff, after where we started, and there were clothing shops, and then there were also places that looked more like vending machines
Yeah.
in a way. And everyone I stopped at had like different clothing options.
Oh.
There's just a ton of outfits and stuff. And what was cool is I had this black lady with like this big like poofy hair. When you put on like a hat or a beanie, it fit and like the hair came out of it like you would
Oh,
expect,
nice.
like real life.
Cool.
Rather than just like clipping in some awkward, weird way.
Sure. And the clothing was exclusive to each store, so it's not like you go into a store.
I'm
and,
sure there's
like
maybe
GTA
different
Online, where
brands
it's like
or
you can
something,
buy
or maybe
everything.
different parts of town have different options.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they have any influence. I don't think they have any influence on anything like Cyberpunk.
Did you ask him about Assassin's Creed outfit?
No, I
It's
didn't.
Ubisoft. They're gonna, yeah, of course.
There will be.
Well, you should ask
course,
how
of course,
many
of course.
will do.
Yeah,
Right.
you play rewards.
How many you play rewards?
Yeah, spend some coins. Yeah, I went into the pub and like was pretty much like you said, John, shopping for someone.
Yeah.
And this guy was just like posted up in the back, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this guy. But then he sounded weird, and I was like, I don't want you anymore.
Go
Well,
away.
that's the thing, but you knew right away.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure there's gonna be those rough edges, but then it's just you're fired. Get out of here. You know.
Yeah.
Did you get the mission where you basically had to like take out 3 key guards or whatever?
Yeah, and I used that flying drone and just like, like land right in front of him, shoot
Maniac.
him, flew to another one. I played it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I played this.
I did it
out
all
of control.
traps. So I used so what you can do with some of the drones is that you can basically turn them into proximity mines with the hacker.
Cool.
So you just like you hold a button and you arm the drone, and then just fly the drone in like right onto whoever you want to attack, and then it'll explode. But then there are also just some of the things I think were already in the other Watch Dogs, just like electrical panels and stuff, so that like you essentially set it as a trap, and then you attract somebody over to it, and then once they get into range, then it goes off and knocks them out. And so it's totally a stealthy way to take them down.
One of the other things I'm thinking about is because I just want to bring up GTA 5 as many times as I possibly
Right,
can
of
in this
course.
conversation, but there is this weird
They're adding a
psychological.
casino.
Huh?
They're adding a casino online.
GTA?
To GTA. Ooh, all right. Let's talk about that. There's this weird like psychological experiment where like when I was playing as Trevor, I was crazy. When I was playing as Michael, I was a little
Yep.
more reserved.
Yep.
And you were playing as Franklin, like definitely like not necessarily like crazy like Trevor, but a little cockier. And so I wonder if like you kind of like if I have like a Jason Statham character,
Yes.
it's just like. Regardless of what would be the best strategy for any given scenario, it's just like, no, I'm gonna go in and,
You're so right, Jones.
knock these people unconscious.
Jones, I always think about RPing, and
Yeah.
for whatever reason, now there it is. Yes, RPing as these characters, because you really got to get into it. That's my biggest fear. Again, that I said earlier was just like, are these
You need
characters?
something to latch on to.
Yeah, are these
Yeah.
characters going to be as good as
Right.
just a
Well,
specific?
and I think you talked about like wanting to recruit the guy's brother, but is his brother just like a link on a spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Or once you once you recruit him, then like all of that stuff just disappears. It doesn't matter anymore. So, other than making his brother easier to recruit.
And I think they were saying when you do missions too, everyone gets XP just in your pool.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's good.
Because I was like, I
Yeah.
think it'd be kind of raise the stakes with permadeath too. If you level
lost
someone
the
up
highest
and you
someone
lose
high
that
level.
person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe they'll have like a hardcore mode. I don't know.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Cool.
Neat.
The next one we need to get Ben in for.
man.
It's Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Yeah.
And you didn't get to see this yet, huh?
I did not. This was a Judge's Week. I was not at that appointment, but I would have been.
Brad and I co-opted it.
We sure did.
Please be excited.
Please be excited.
Good.
Please be excited. It's a pleasure. It's a
Yeah.
privilege.
It was definitely like riding a bike again, where like how our brains work in co-op. Of like we know what each other's we
Yeah.
barely talk to each
Pacific
other,
Rim, dude.
and we just know what the other person's thinking every
Yep.
time.
We would be excellent Jaeger pilots.
Yeah, we would.
Yep. What is it again? The meld? Mind meld?
The Meld.
It usually revolves around Hubert going somewhere face just charging, getting all the heat, and me like going around and taking him out somewhere else, and me rezzing him afterwards.
I'm in like the main hallway
I
with
was
a
like,
shotgun.
I was like, yeah, you might want to get that perk that boosts your health.
Get a little more tanky. Full disclosure, the power went out.
Yeah,
Remember the
such
E3
a
power went
bummer.
out.
Oh,
This
that was
happened
for
during
us, yeah.
our Doom/Wolfenstein session.
Wow. Yeah, so we were lucky because we were at Nintendo's booth, so everything was on a Switch. So when the power came back up, everything was just where we left it.
Marketing.
Nice.
And
Switch. Has
Pretty strong.
anybody played the Fallout Battle
I don't
Royale?
think we need headphones for anything.
yep, you know, that was just a habit I
Yeah.
was doing. Like, oh, time to react to a press conference.
Okay.
Time to react to Wolfenstein.
Time to react to Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein?
I've been excited to talk about this for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to take it away? You want me to take it away? Brad want to take it away?
You guys are a little more
Who's
recent.
taking it away?
Well, I can take it away if you want to talk about, because I have a lot of thoughts on how they're presenting the story and
Cool.
the characterization.
Perfect, yeah, because that's
Sure.
how it started. Like, this started with what was it? That like 10 straight minutes of cutscenes.
I didn't
Yeah.
get to hear it though. Online.
Which sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was an amazing introduction.
Yes.
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 2 thumbs up.
Two thumbs
Absolutely.
up.
Are they still like totally insane, crazy people?
it gets like there's a part where it got a little zany.
Yeah.
Yeah, zany is the right word for
That's a good
the
word.
way that Machine Games has handled Wolfenstein, but that's not a criticism of it because it like kind of, we talked about this with Yakuza as well, where like very rapidly it will go from like super serious shit, like really like
Emotional gut punch.
internal turmoil,
Yeah.
and then it'll just be like them like cracking the most like basic fun visceral like they'll kill something and they'll start going like kind of like Beavis and Butthead
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about killing Nazis, they're like, we were born for this.
Yeah.
But then they get to the part where they're so scared, like they're freaking out trying
Yeah.
to kill this Nazi, and they kill the Nazi.
Because their first
Then,
kill.
30 seconds later, they are insane killing machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I actually kind of think it's handled well. I'll have to see it again to make a final judgment, but let's take it back.
Yeah.
Because I actually do think the very beginning of the demo is really important and very effective. So you have these two characters that each person is playing, or if you're playing alone, you'll have an AI controlling the other one that you didn't pick, Jess and Soph. They are the daughters of BJ Blazkowicz and Anya. And you have this opening scene where, like, BJ just looks like old and haggard.
Yeah.
And well, Anya does
Snake
too, kind of,
vibes.
in a way. But they've kind of carved out a life for themselves, despite the war that is surrounding them. It seems like they found some semblance of peace, but there's always that threat there, and they never forget it. And what this opening sequence focuses on is both Anya and BJ are training them in different aspects. So Anya is telling one of them to like keep punching this punching bag, and she's like tired and sore, and Anya's like, no, like you have to keep doing this.
It was again, you were talking about that, like they nailed it, because in that scene, the way Anya presents it is like a big effing Aryan Nazi
Right.
is gonna take one more punch than you and you're gonna be dead.
right.
Like, don't stop fighting.
And it's so cool because just in this opening scene, you see like very clearly, very obviously how much these parents love their kids and like how they're good people. But when it comes to like learning how to survive, they are not messing around. It is like, no, you will do this. You have to do it. I will not let you leave until you learn how to defend yourself. Kind of attitude. And that's something that I really like about Machine Games, kind of Wolfenstein handling so far, where like instead of just focusing on like how this has impacted people in a broad sense, like just kind of focusing on widespread chaos, they really drill it down to this is how it's affecting individual people. And I really got that sense here. And the characterization of Jess and Soph is so good. And I think now is a good time to get into that, like, so they've never been in war before. Despite preparing for it, they've never actually been in combat. And BJ disappears, and so they're going and they're chasing after him. They're trying to find out what's happening, and they kill their first person. And it's kind of
sloppy.
It's real sloppy.
Yeah.
One of them goes in with like a shovel or like a giant spike thing and stabs the Nazi, and the Nazi's like bleeding out and is like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, now I'm gonna kill you." And then the other one comes up and just shoots him in the head, and his head explodes.
Yes.
And
I
then
believe like the blood splatters on them too.
yeah. And then she immediately vomits.
Yeah.
Just everywhere. And then they start laughing about it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Because like they have this like innocence about them where like yes they're killing and they're involved in this war, but they just like have this belief that kind of what they're doing is right. And like Brad said, they have this moment where it was like, we were born from this. And you think about BJ Blazkowicz and like that being his entire, not his entire, but a lot of his
chunk of his
identity.
life,
His life and identity. And they kind of just rally around each other and this belief that like we have to do this. This is what's right. And they're so goddamn funny. They're
so
just
funny.
kind of two giant dorks.
immediately love them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Like you know, you reviewed Wolfenstein 2, Ben, just about like all those characters and like that whole cast, man.
Yeah. And they're constantly, it's like going with your friend to something that you're like both really excited about. Like you've been listening to a band for years and you like go to the concert and you can't even speak intelligent with each other because you're just kind of in awe that you're here and you're like, wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. They have a lot of that dialogue where they're just kind of in disbelief. Like they get the suits and they're like just everything. They're kind of like, yes, this is terrible violence that is happening, but man, it's so sweet. And they do it in just such this like innocent way that is immediately endearing, I think.
I'm sure it'll come crashing down.
Yeah,
like
I'm sure.
machine games.
Yeah. and it's exciting. Like this has the potential, and then like, you know, what are they going to do after this? Wolfenstein 3, like end of the trilogy, who knows? But like you think back to Wolfenstein Old Blood, which is in like way in the
prequel,
past, prequel, all the
Right.
way till now, and it's like this whole big like
Story.
decades of narrative. Yeah.
I think it's
which is-
20 years after 2.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah, that's kind of the weird thing is that
Huge
they're kind
scope.
of playing on this like alternate 80s vibe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that feel? Because
It didn't feel like the 80s from what I remember playing. I felt like I
Yeah.
was in Wolfenstein, the other ones. Because
because I was
Well,
wondering if
there-
it like
there
felt
is-
too much like the real 80s, it would be weird.
There is a little bit of it in the beginning where they're in Justin Soph's room, and it's been a while now since I played this demo, but it kind of looks like what I feel like an 80s kid room would look
I was talking
like.
about like the level, actually.
Yes,
like,
the
progressing
level is-
through the levels.
Exactly. The actual level that you're playing in is very industrial, very similar to past Wolfensteins, and when you're in the city, it's just kind of very dark and
Yeah, boarding up kind of vibe.
right,
Yeah.
right. So yeah, the levels themselves don't really convey that, but
playing this co-op was excellent.
Yeah.
It still needs a little bit of polish.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, some animations here and there.
Some guys disappeared.
Yeah.
There's like some flamethrower dude. I mean, he like ran up a house to get away from him.
Yeah.
And it was just going through the wall like up the stairs. Like, ah!
Couldn't get away. But
that's
like,
interesting. I didn't
just-
have anything like
That's
that.
good.
I don't
Yeah,
think
That's
Yeah.
good.
Might have just been our computer or something.
I don't know.
The power
That
went
was
out right
after the
before
power
that.
outage.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so
Blame it on the power.
yeah.
I feel like there were two things that I really stood out to me. The pet powers I just love, and the way that it in the fighting really demands cooperation between you and your
Yes.
partner.
difficult.
Yeah,
Like
it
Wolfenstein
is.
2, I remember it was like one
Yeah.
of the hardest games I played that year.
You just die so quickly.
So fast.
Yeah.
Same thing here. You die very quickly. You need to be with your buddy. Brad Ellis reviving you all the time. Feels good.
Yeah. That sounds
pretty
sounds about
tough.
right. Huber's the one getting revived.
Yep. Just charging through
Running
the
around
hallway.
that corner too soon.
And the nitty gritty mechanics really cool. The visuals though, it was like kind of confusing.
Oh. Yeah.
So some enemies will have armor, and different weapons are more effective against specific armors. So like
Huh.
Yeah.
Like,
and-
so you'll want to use like a certain gun with an ammunition type.
Yeah, so you'll want to use certain guns to kill him. So, which is awesome. I think of Doom, and it's like, wow, like they're all about making you use your whole toolkit now.
Yeah.
There's no more shotgun only runs. So it was a little confusing because so many of the symbols look similar. So I was like, oh, like weak to shotgun, and I was doing it. I was like, it's not doing well. Oh, it was machine gun ammo. Like, so it's a little confusing
Because
but-
they're not like colored different or anything. Like they're
It's-
just like a little white square. Some
Yeah.
are like slightly thicker than others.
slightly.
Hubert-
Should have worn my glasses.
You
I
should
just-
have worn your glasses.
I just had this like idea of you sitting at your monitor and reading like, okay, this is weak to not shotgun, and like pulling out a Sharpie and writing directly on your monitor like shotgun.
You didn't have a shotgun for a while, right? You had the sniper rifle.
For a little bit, then I got the like,
Okay, because
auto.
I had that forever. You're like,
Yeah,
where'd you get
that
that, dude?
shotgun is
30
so
30
sick.
rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Love it. And then just the RPG elements. Awesome. Because the only complaint I ever had about Wolfenstein 1 and 2 were the things you had to do to level up. Like, oh, get 15 stealth pistol kills. Okay, now it's making me play a way that I don't want to play. Get 30 dual wield kills. Like, I didn't like that stuff. So the fact that they overhauled it, now it's just enemies have levels, you get XP, you level up, you get money and skill points that you can use.
Well, not just that, but it's that you can build both sisters to be very different play styles. So
Yeah.
like one can just focus on stealth while the other is taking a different approach. And I really like the level design because there's like so many moments where it's obvious how you can take advantage of it being two people. So like you're kind of in this very long hallway, like going through multiple rooms.
Yeah.
But there are two straight lines and the enemies are in the middle. And so it's like, okay, cool. Like I can see my buddy on the other end of the hallway and like we're both creeping up at the same time. And it's like, okay, I got a guy on the right, and then
Yeah.
you shoot him. And he's like, okay, I got a guy on the left. And you're just sort of like slowly creeping along, picking off.
That's funny.
I always try to make Brad laugh by like if I see him in the hallway like shooting someone, I'll just try to like run past auto shotty. Just,
Yeah, boom, 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 boom. I feel like we still killed maybe one guy. I feel like we went through this 100 miles an hour. We did not stop moving.
Yeah.
Like I was playing like Doom pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yep.
That is so
Out of
funny because
control.
when I
We were
played it,
Boom, boom, like just going crazy.
the guy that I was playing with
Yeah.
was so nice, so friendly, and like we were really just helping each other out and like trying to be as careful as possible. And then
Yeah.
you've got Brad and Hubert being like,
Yeah.
Doom Eternal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
We just played Doom before that too.
because they have the suits, so just everything was telling me like this is a little more run and gun than Wolfenstein 1 and 2. I played those very stealthy.
Well, it's you have a someone a companion to help you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, we both have the armor suits. We're co-op, and like if I go down, it can revive, and vice
Yeah.
versa. We're just gonna come
See,
in and slaughter.
I
Nazi
felt like
scum.
with the right partner, like stealth is even more effective.
Yeah.
Because you can, yeah.
and E3, like I'm always encouraged
Yeah.
to go guns blazing.
Sure,
so.
sure. I do want to talk about the pet powers, and I actually yesterday interviewed a guy from Machine Games, and so what the pet power mechanic is, it's so cool and does a great job of kind of conveying this like teenager vibe that they're going for, this growing up vibe. Because what you can do is one partner can do like heavy metal devil horns, and then it'll give the partner armor, and then the other one can do a thumbs up, and it'll give bonus health. And
And you can buy more of those different symbols.
yeah, so that's the
Yeah,
thing
like
is
fist bump and
he
stuff.
said like, hey, you're gonna keep unlocking those throughout the game. So like one will give you temporary invulnerability, is what he said.
Oh, I didn't know they give you different like perks.
Yeah,
I
so
thought
it's
it was
not
just an emote.
No. He said that's where we started, where we were just gonna put emotes in the game,
Just for
This is
fun,
a
yeah.
thing,
Cool.
and then it evolved into this mechanic, and so you will unlock new gestures that will have
Awesome.
different abilities, and I thought that was really cool. But those are the only two that we saw, and at first it kind of just seems like, oh, that's a fun thing, but it actually really makes the cooperative experience a lot more engaging, because the guy that I was playing with, and like we were talking about before, where you can just get down so quickly, like you really need that extra little bit of health.
Yes.
And so you're kind of like constantly talking to each other, like, hey, you know, is that power off cooldown? Can you pop it so I can get it? And so you're just constantly communicating with each other just through that mechanic.
Yeah.
And it really made it feel
That's
like
interesting because I kind of had that sense when I played the Gears 5 Escape because there was such a limited amount of ammo and there's just the one person that was able to put up that ability to refill everyone's ammo. So it's like, hey, I'm out of ammo. We need that ability whenever you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot about the puzzle too. The puzzles were cool. Like you had to hack through this.
The codes?
The door.
Oh.
So one person had to be at the door, and another one had to be at like the code generator, and it like
And just tell them,
did the hack the code, and it got sent over to the other player.
And just the enemy design in ways that you would expect. I mean, beyond like you guys taking up different positions to try to like cover ground as effectively as possible. So there's like a boss fight, and there's 2 levels to it, and so somebody can be above and somebody can be below. But the boss is really aggressive, and the effective way that we found to deal with it is like, okay, one person gets aggro on the boss, the other takes advantage of it, and then you just keep switching as needed. And it's just kind of this nice back and forth with the boss fight.
The dog boss.
No,
I don't remember
Dog
the
boss.
the guy that you like. The way you finish him is you like shove him into the.
Oh my God, the propeller.
Yes.
Oh, that one was great.
that's right.
Yes, that's what I'm
With
talking
the
about.
cloak?
Yes.
Like the cloaking device?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he cloaked. He
Yeah.
cloaked.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're fighting him in this like
He
bar
would like
lounge area.
on the Zeppelin or something.
Yeah, cool fight. Really cool fight. And then there was the dog too. That's when I was like doing
The laser.
Boing!
God, dude. Yeah, there's
Oh, yeah. There's a turret that you can use, and that ended up being really effective.
Huber left that on for legit 2 minutes and it's just going.
I did
Yeah,
not
yeah,
move. I was
yeah.
just mowing people down.
But
That's one of my favorite guns in any game.
The laser gun?
The laser
That was
gun.
in the past ones,
Yeah,
right?
Yes. I adore that weapon. You just like melt and disintegrate Nazis. It's so satisfying.
it's cool because we didn't really get to see the hub that you unlock, which I think you get shortly after where our demo ended. But once you get to that hub, you can actually like choose the order that you tackle things in. So I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out as well. But yeah, man, what I really love about Wolfenstein Youngblood is if this didn't have any of the story stuff at all, if they just completely cut all of that out of the game, I still feel like this would be a really fun, valuable cooperative experience that like I would have a good time with and get, you could get your money's worth from. But the fact that the characters are so good and so well characterized, like it's just, it ends up being a lot more than that as a result, which I think is really cool.
I wonder how fun it'll be by yourself. I wonder how it'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not played it single player, so I can't comment. But I just based on the experience that I had, like I really want to play it with somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, it's built ground
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Definitely a co-op game, Resident Evil 5 style.
Yeah.
Which I always appreciate, when you have one entry like this, like it can be kind of frustrating to not be able to play on your own time or have to, kind of find time together to be able to go through this game. Like that can be pretty hard.
Right.
But for like a standalone kind of spin-off within the whole Wolfenstein universe, like it's its own cool, unique thing.
Yeah.
It can totally be a pain to like make that work, but I also kind of like that it's continuing from characters that I'm already attached to, and so like I want to see what's going to happen.
Yes.
Where if this was just a complete spin-off, where it was like, okay, the people you're playing as, they don't really have any attachment to the things that you've done before, like I wouldn't feel as motivated
Totally.
to get through it.
The fact that it's a sequel, and
Yeah,
not some
continuing the
prequel
story.
or
Exactly.
side thing.
Exactly.
But Old Blood was sick.
Yeah.
Huber, I want to make sure that this is actually a thing that you saw, and I have the title right. Zombie Army 4 Dead War?
No, I saw
No.
that.
You saw that.
I played
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got those mixed up.
I believe it's like I remember Sniper Elite Zombie back in the day.
Yes.
I think this is like the 4th version of that
Yeah.
now. So it's like a 4-player co-op, kind of like Left 4 Dead. You're going through just like different areas, killing just like hordes of zombies, just progressing through a level. It's very much like Call of Duty Zombies, I guess, but like from what I remember from the World War II when less freedom, the level I played was very linear and how I progressed the level. Good shotgun, Huber.
Excellent.
Good shotgun. You could upgrade
Excellent.
the amount of like bucks in the round or something like that. Great stuff.
Perfect.
It was kind of a short demo. I just played through the level by myself. I didn't get to play with anyone, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah?
So I just went by myself.
I mean, doesn't it the title is that not like supposed to be a co-op game? Or?
Yeah. It's like that's how you
okay.
should play it.
You play
But,
with
like,
bots?
That's so weird
No.
because I thought that they've
Just
made
by
kind of a
myself.
big deal about
It's a
bringing
co-op
that
game. Like
game.
it's a
Yeah.
like you want to play this game co-op 100%. But there was just no one there for like me. I was playing on PC. There's one other PC and there's no one there yet, like playing.
Okay.
So I just went through it by myself. You pick your classes. You're pretty standard. If you've played like Call of Duty Black Ops, you'll feel really familiar. It's third person though, which is cool. Just going through waves. There's traps you could set. There was a part with like a propeller just laying around. You could shoot it, and it would like suck dudes in and
Perfect.
blood everywhere. There's like electricity stuff on the ground you could set off to make all these zombies get electrocuted and stuff.
Brad, this immediately gives me like World War Z vibe, where like not especially remarkable, but it gets the job done.
This is exactly what that game
Yeah.
is. It's like that kind of
Yeah.
vibe. Like
Yeah.
this game's not gonna throw anything crazy new at you. Where you're like blown away. It's just really fun, good time you could have with a group. Like your buddies playing through it.
Yeah.
Just killing hordes of zombies, putting traps down, helping each other. You got a few abilities to help you know little perks every now and then. You unlock stuff. Customization, upgrade your gun how you want. There's Thompson Huber.
How was the like when you get hit by a zombie, Brad? Because
What
I
do you
feel
mean?
like
the feeling of getting hit.
yeah, I feel like sometimes that's hard to capture.
It was
Just,
okay.
You know, I think of even the last Call of Duty Zombies, Ben. Like when a zombie kind of hits you, it just feels kind of
It was like
airy.
yeah, kind of like I didn't get like knocked on the ground like
Like they just
RE2.
smack you.
It wasn't
Yeah.
like RE2 where it was like intense on you, like biting your neck or anything like that. I just got like slapped or something like that.
Okay.
I was like, oh okay.
Man, the way zombies just bite you in RE2 Remake, not relevant really to this
Always
conversation,
relevant.
but it is real good.
Yeah. So at the bottom you have like
Yeah, so this is like a
abilities.
whole
this is like
little
the
base.
class thing. Yeah, this is where I started out, and there's like a workbench you could choose like your loadout if you want.
Gets the job done.
So you could upgrade your guns right here. Yeah, you can pick what you,
Electrified barrel.
yeah, which is cool. I did that the shotgun, dude. Electric bucks.
They're like, yeah, the design of it's really interesting. There's a crazy like coat
Tesla
hanger cone at the end.
coil.
Just based on what I'm seeing in like the posters and the fact that you can add an electrified barrel, this totally does give me like Call of Duty zombie vibes
Yeah,
to a degree,
totally.
where there's just some goofiness
Yeah.
in it,
There's some goofiness.
intentionally so.
Yeah. But yeah, total Call of Duty zombie vibes. It was fun. I had a good time playing it.
Nice. It's one to watch.
Yeah, it's like I mean, there's not like a lot I could say about that you've like never heard from a
Right.
game.
Yeah.
Why is the title like Zombie Army for Dead War? Okay,
Right,
maybe
that's why I was
not
like,
bad.
did I have
Oh,
this
yeah,
right?
we're
Do I have this
Because it
correct?
was Sniper Elite Zombie originally, right?
Yeah, I have so much trouble
'Cause
keeping them all straight.
The
like,
person asked me, and I said I played that, and she's like, "Oh, you played the first one?" I was like, "I guess." But yeah,
Somehow we
Zombie
got
Army
3 more.
is the
Yeah.
first one.
but like us playing together, we'd have a good time.
Yeah. I
Cool.
bet.
No
one else, just us.
Let's get Brandon back in here for some
Brandon.
Biomutant.
Biomutant.
Yeah,
I don't know
played
which one you guys
Biomutant
wanna skip out.
also.
Yep.
You can either way.
I'll tag in.
Biomutant.
Jones, I think we are in agreement here.
All right. I'll
Biomutant.
refill my coffee.
Coffee time.
Bar.
I found my notes. The funny thing about Biomutant for me was just like it was just completely unexpected.
Oh no.
I
Okay, it's a bit.
It's a wild boss man. Look out!
Here. Throw that away from me.
Catch him!
Sports.
Yo, Biomutant is rough.
Biomutant's not not in good shape.
Yeah.
It's not in good shape.
Yikes.
but
bad.
well, maybe
Mo-
that's why, and this is why it was a surprise. Is you know when I book the appointments, I generally have a fair idea what all is going to be there. Sometimes there'll be some mystery, unannounced thing or whatever. Nobody ever said the word Biomutant to me, you know.
And it's already announced. It's not worth keeping a
Right.
secret,
It's been
right?
a few different shows, and so then I had a little. I got to the convention earlier than I expected, so I had a little time, and I start walking around South Hall taking pictures, and I see THQ Nordic booths, and I'm like, there's like a whole pile of Biomutant stations here.
Yeah.
And because I was so early, nobody was playing most of them. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk up and play Biomutant finally.
I had to wait in line, but it was only like 5 minutes. Like, yeah.
It was the roughest game I personally played at E3.
Oh, it's the only game I played at E3 that I was like.
Me too.
I was just
Yep.
not. I'm like,
Yep.
I didn't really enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm pretty bummed about
And
it.
I want to.
Me
like-
too.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
interesting, the way that it looks, some of the mechanics, some of the humor, but it's just sort of one of those games that, at this point, it still feels like it's kind of. I don't know. It's almost like it's still using like the generic, unpolished, like Unreal library assets or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of one of these games where
It
like,
feels
the
like a
way
last gen game.
the
or
textures
something,
and
yeah.
stuff are laid out is like, oh, I've seen this
Yeah.
before somehow. That there's like they haven't like put in final assets yet.
I can't remember if it was PAX or last year's E3, but when I played it before, one of the things that I was happy to see was there was a character customization beforehand, and it was a bummer because there was this like long line that I'm waiting in to get into the to play it, and they didn't have a cap on the length of the demo. And so like I'm like looking at this whole line of people playing the game in front of me, and it's like, do I want my hair to be pink or what? And it's like, come on, like it doesn't matter. There's and
It matters.
And in this, of course it matters, but again,
When
it's
you
just
when
like,
you get to keep your save.
man,
it
Yeah,
matters.
when you're at E3.
yeah, like
Move it along.
like explore the differences, but like you don't need to fine tune this dude that you're going to say goodbye to in 10 minutes. And I don't know if this is going to make it into the final version of the game, but they kind of corrected that for demo purposes, where like it was just a wheel, and so you just move the analog cursor like around this wheel, and then it would kind of change. Like there was one wheel for just the shape of it, and then there was another wheel for like the main color, and then the secondary color. And the first wheel was just like his general body proportions. And man, I kept going around this wheel, and I was like, I don't like any of these. I want him to look like he looks on the, and I couldn't do it. And I finally was like, whatever. Like I'll just
Mine
make a
ended
little
up just
bulgy
looking like a
thing.
booger.
Okay.
Mine looked like a booger.
Wait, so the E3 demo this year starts the same way? You still have to create your character?
Yeah, you create.
When I walked up,
Yeah.
somebody had already started and left it, and
Lucky.
I didn't know how to restart. So I was just already sort of in it and just trying to figure out what to
By
do.
the way, Jones, what a difference between last year where there were crazy lines and this year where you can walk up and play it.
Well, I
Well, I
had to
mean,
wait
I
in
was
line
there
before I
still
did it, but-
during industry hours, like
Gotcha.
start of the day.
and I'm pretty sure it was PAX. So it's the
I think it was PAX.
a PAX
Yeah, yeah,
line
yeah.
is a different thing from an E3 line. Just considering like at a PAX, I
This
think
looks so cool.
this
I
would be a
know.
this would be a little more on par with kind of the other games that are available. Whereas E3, it's like something like Biomutants going up against a bunch of heavy hitters. Yeah, how could you not love this? Like this game looks so exciting.
This looks so cool.
And that's kind
and
of
it's
that's kind of one of the biggest things about this is like the world is still exciting. Blood brought up the humor. And it's got a great attitude. You keep, Wiz Tinker Tonker. Like you keep just bumping into a bunch of super weird characters. They have like they talk like
Otter.
Banjo-Kazooie style, and you're constantly discovering new interesting areas. Just the combat feels so weird, and it like
you can kind of see it in the footage. When you press an attack button, he kind of like homing
Auto,
attacks. It's
yeah.
almost like Sonic in a way. Like
Yeah.
he's you homing attack to this guy and then homing attack to that guy, and it takes a little bit to sort of sort out like how the rhythm of it all works. And then you also have the triggers or something. You can also shoot.
yeah. And
oh the gun. Yeah, the gun didn't feel good.
what's going on with that
And it
gun?
just
It's
felt
like
like-
bullets are just flying all over the place. I'm like,
Yeah.
that guy shoot that guy, and
Yeah.
it's like some of the bullets just fly around, and it's like.
Did you
am
have the
I-
headphones on? There's also like a narrator that was
Yeah,
kinda
yeah,
always
yeah.
talking to you.
And that got a little kind of tiring. Oh, look
That
at
could
this.
be-
What is your character going to do about this thing that you've discovered? And like that's kind of interesting if you're like checkpointing, if like I'm getting to a new area and you're introducing that area, but he just kept talking and talking and talking and talking. And like I need to illustrate that I am passionate about this game,
too.
and that's why I'm
Yes.
frustrated. You know, it's like
Yes.
I wouldn't have. You know, I also played Wreckfest, and we're not talking about Wreckfest. You know, like this is a
Right.
game I'm focused on.
Wreckfest has been out for a while, which is interesting that it was there. But yeah,
But it's like you fight this big boss at the end, and like you're in this mech actually, which you just saw gameplay of, which is like has like these little squirrel creatures in the back, and you're like sucking up gas to try to get through areas.
yeah. Well, yeah. There's like basically like oil puddles that you can't get past just on your own. So you need the mech to like suck them up, and then you can go through new passages.
And when you first fight this big boss at the end, there's all these buildings around you, which, pretty soon into the battle, he's kind of like, destroyed all of them trying to get to you. So you're in this giant mech, and I'm trying to like evade this guy, but there's these like buildings. So I'm like, well, I got to look at him, but there's this kind of tiny alleyway that I'm like trying to get through, and I'm in a big mech, but I got to keep shooting him. And it just...
Did you get through the whole fight?
I didn't the first time. When I was the same thing as you. When I got to the station, it was like right at the end of the demo. So I fought him a little bit and then died, and then it ran out of time in the demo, and they let me restart the demo from the beginning. So by the time I got to him in the end, I was like, okay, I'm ready for this. So I beat him the second time.
So I don't know. I don't know if he's in any of these clips because I'm watching this really closely.
I don't think so. I didn't spot him.
But I would describe him as a gorilla with kind of an anime shark head.
Mostly like a shark mouth.
Yeah, shark mouth, but like the head was just like almost like a big nothing vinyl white crazy thing. So he's furry all over except the head, which was just like bare white skin, like rubbery skin.
Oh, there we go. That's him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Man, those
he swallows
trailers
you,
are
just like you
good.
Yeah, the trailers are.
Those are
they can sell
really
the game.
good trailers.
And
Like
it looks like the gameplay is changing up constantly. Like you're
Yeah.
doing all sorts of crazy
Yeah,
things.
there's this
weird
thing
abilities.
with there's like giant puddles of soap that you
I'm listening.
create a bubble around yourself,
Yeah.
and then you can use that bubble to basically jump higher, and then when you pop the bubble around a group of enemies, it like creates like this area of effect blast to like knock them down.
So it sounds like to me, a game at its core needs to be fun first. Like from those trailers, I saw like 25 ideas,
yeah.
and maybe they like should have, not done that much.
Maybe, yeah.
And then
Oh,
this-
there he was.
Yeah, because the combat
One more.
just did not
That's
feel
that's
good.
that's the boss. And then but again, this boss, like Brandon was saying, there's humor with the boss itself because at some point the boss swallows you, and then you're inside of the boss's gut, and there's like all of this like vomit coming down or whatever at you, and there's like a whirlpool at the bottom. And so like I died the first time because he pooped me out, and then he sat on
Me
me.
too. That's how I died. No.
But then you
that just doesn't make sense.
then you go up. There he is again. Then you go up like through his arteries or whatever, and like whack at his heart until you kill his heart, and then you get vomited out, and that's the end of
But
the
there
boss
was
fight.
like you had to like you can see these points where he's like jumping between different like climbing points, and you had to like zigzag up to get to these two possible tunnels to get around into this room where you could finally get reach his heart, and you could either run up and melee it or you could shoot it from a distance, and he would like this bile would kind of start like drizzling
Yeah.
out one area, and it would be a warning that like all of this this big flood of it's going to suddenly come running down this one area, and it's going to push you back into his main like stomach zone, and
that's
then that's
cool.
where you could fire out. And when this big kind of like flood of bile would go through one of these areas, it wasn't the kind of
Flood
thing
of
where it's like,
bile.
I'm going to try to jump over it to evade it. It's like, it's going to catch you. It's going to, like, if you're in this tunnel, you're going back into his stomach. And it's like there's no wiggle room. It's just like, oh,
Right.
and then there was some point, and then there's this middle, like right next to those two tunnels, there's a middle area that every time I went up to his heart to try to melee it, I would just like pop back out into his stomach. Like it would just be like, oh, something happened, and now you're in his stomach again. And I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Right.
And when I finally beat him, I wasn't even paying attention to his health, and I ran up and hit it a couple times, and he died. And I'm like, whoa, why was that so much easier that time? It was just like, I was like legit frustrated.
There
in that
wasn't
part.
like
I'm
just a
not
meter.
enjoying
It
this
was
at
just
all.
about pulling the meter down all the way. So
Weird.
however many times it took you to get
Yeah.
that meter down.
Yeah, I just was not impressed with the visuals. They're really, really grody, and the combat just didn't feel right. It was just like homing auto attacks, and even hitting things wasn't satisfying. There was no good sound to it, no weight, no impact.
I feel like I missed a tutorial. You know, like I feel like
Right.
there's some
Well, I
introduction.
knew
where
I
I'm like,
missed the
that's
tutorial.
how guns work.
So
Got
it's
it.
knowing that you guys actually
No, it
didn't-
just kind of throws you into
Yeah,
it.
okay.
You know, but the world is so unique. There's a lot of crazy. There's a lot. I get the vibe that you'll encounter. You can kind of see it in the gameplay. Some of these screenshots where like you'll encounter an area and like something's happening. Like there's you know there's some big monster that a bunch of little things are trying to overcome, or like you definitely like encounter like scenes of action that you jump into and then everybody scrambles to attack you. But and even like the mech at the end where you fight this thing in like. If you double jump, it'll trigger the jets, and so you'll be able to fly in the air. So I'm like, like strafing around this thing, firing at it. And you didn't have ammo in the turret. You just had like a meter that if you kind of like overheating, but it was just like running out of ammo, and then it would take a while like to regenerate. But it was always just super annoying whenever my gun would stop firing. It wasn't the thing of like, oh, I gotta wait a second to do this really cool reload animation. It's just like, no, your gun's just stopped.
Yeah.
And like, okay, all right. And you gotta wait for it to go back up, and then like.
Kyle, I
keep
thought of you,
shooting
man,
at it.
because right when I started the demo, I was like so stoked because it
Yeah.
does a really cool thing where it's like overhead shot, like Honey I Shrunk the Kids style, like going down into the grass, deeper, 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 and then you're like, all small in this like giant forest grass area. I thought it was really cool perspective.
Wait,
like,
are we like Whovians? Are we like tiny?
that's what it felt like, but I don't know. Maybe it was just maybe we were on like a different planet,
Okay.
but it felt like we were small in this world.
How long did it take for you to realize there's something off?
Honestly, 15, 20 seconds.
Right.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, uh-oh.
And that
Yeah.
and
then the first combat encounter, I was like, wait a minute.
yeah, and I kind of felt that the first time I played it too, but
Yeah.
it was the first time I'd ever played it, and like
Yeah.
I'd found out about this game like a week before,
Right.
And so I was just like, okay, Biomutant, all right, well, we'll see that again later. And it was weird jumping back in and being like, this hasn't improved at all. Like I'm in a brand new area, I'm fighting brand new enemies, like I haven't been in the mech before, I haven't seen this boss before, but I don't enjoy playing this game, and it's a bummer because it's like, I don't know if there's some tutorial I missed and it'll introduce like, here's specifically how targeting enemies works and juggling between stuff. Because you look at it and it like, it has little like traces of something like a Devil May Cry or like melee, guns. But it just does like, it's hard to make him do exactly what I want him to do. And like, there was almost never a moment where I was like, like, oh, I took that one guy down. It was just like, well, I didn't die in that fight, like moving on to the next area.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you smack them and numbers come off.
Yeah.
Was there any fun element to like leveling up or?
I'm sure you-
I didn't see any
it
of
was,
that.
It was
if
very
there
level
is.
based, like, advancements. So like when you got to the part with the mech, like you got to like a gear station that you could pick like what was on top of the mech. Whether it's like a crown or like a little bunny
Oh
head
yeah,
or
you
like,
basically you had to complete the mech to be able
Yeah.
to use it,
Mm-hmm.
and so you had to go around the corner and like collect some scrap, and then, but it wasn't like a utility thing. It was just like what kind of decoration do you want? Like what do you want the head to look like? So it's just more of a customization thing.
But
Yeah.
it's playful and it's got
Yeah.
the right attitude. I don't beat
Give
a
it
dead
another
horse
year.
here, but
Yeah.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
It's dead. And if they put it out a year from now, it's gonna lose money. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things.
And I'm sure I'll be like,
it.
if I spend like a good half hour in character creation, and I'm like, there you go, that's my little rocket raccoon guy. Let's do this. I imagine I'll be like much more invested in this. And it's definitely a world I'm like curious to explore, but at the same time, like I just want to feel in control, and I'm nervous like. You're going to keep moving on to zones, and they're going to be like, now you're in a balloon, now you're doing this, and I'm just like, I want this game to just settle down for a second and like have me feel like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to move my abilities toward this, or I want to like avoid this area and do this first and then go there. And because we've only seen little slices of this game, it's hard to get a sense of the big picture, like what the whole experience is going to be like. Because you see trailers and it just looks
are
gorgeous,
awesome.
looks crazy, like he's air juggling dudes and. But doesn't feel that way. Come on, Biomutant.
Jones, really quick. The Darksiders Genesis, is it like Diablo or like the Tomb Raider Osiris game?
A little bit of both.
So do you get
It's
loot when you
not
kill
so-
things,
Uh,
or like XP?
Yeah, I think it's.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But I think it's a little bit of both in that it's. I immediately think Diablo when I was running around.
Yeah.
But it like when I was doing the guns, it reminded me a little more of the Lara Croft games. But the Lara Croft games are like very elaborate, like the big
Puzzles
boulders
and
flying
yeah.
over this thing, and there's lots of like physicality to the puzzles. And it
This
wasn't.
was
There.
like
It was a lot
kill,
of
kill,
like.
kill.
It was a lot of like climb this big heavy thing, throw that switch. Now
Got it.
hop down and kill a bunch of dudes.
And I think like simply like doing combos makes it way different from
Yeah.
Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like after Curse of the Moon, I'm like all about platformy action multi-character games.
Nice.
Like
Cool.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Come on
where
board.
I can choose like almost in like midair. I can choose to be like now I'm war.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I'm back to strife.
Curse
to,
of the
interject
Moon.
some Genesis into our Biomutant Biomutant Genesis.
It's on the
curious.
YouTube
Yeah,
page
I
if
was
you're wondering why that
curious.
came up.
Sorry.
What do we got next, Blood?
There's a lot on
Next,
that.
we got a game that Huber and I sat down and played yesterday called Moons of Madness
Moons of
I've never
Madness.
heard of this.
from
Horror.
Funcom.
Cosmic horror.
Yeah,
Kyle.
horror/adventure.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, so it's one of those games where you really don't fight back.
No.
You don't get.
Coming up, Conan Chop Chop.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Um,
Moon's first.
It's in the same
You
room.
will be ashamed of your words and deeds
Okay.
when
All
we get Ian in here also to join in on the Coney Chop Chop discussion.
but yeah, so Moons of Madness, it's based in outer space. At first, you don't really have a clear idea where you're at. You kind of wake up in your quarters. It's very dark. As your footage, you probably don't see much happening. You see a light here or there. And actually, did you feel like that too? Like when you're playing it, like this is maybe too dark?
No.
You didn't feel like that when? Because I was like, they made sure that room that we were playing it in was really dark.
I liked
And
it.
there was still a bit of glare to where like this tiny bit of glare in this room is still making it hard for me to see.
A lot of Doom 3 shout outs this E3.
Yeah.
Give me that Doom 3 vibe. Of
Okay.
This really dark section
Yeah, so
where
you're,
the flashlight is very focused and pronounced. which I like.
Chronicles of Riddick.
Chronicles of Riddick, even better.
Yeah.
Nod.
but
Syndrome.
yeah, this is almost like the very, this is
No,
almost
I'm
like
sorry, I
straight
said
up the very beginning of the game here that we're looking at.
This is cool.
Uh,
Grotesque.
Yeah. What really impressed me, one, obviously the atmosphere. Really hard to nail. You either got it or you don't in a lot of these games. It had the atmosphere, it had the fear, it had the vibe, and the music really added to that. It's the total package.
Describe
Light,
the music.
lots of moments of silence, and then just like slow, eerie sounds and noise. Some strings here and there.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Eerie
so
stuff.
they in the footage they just passed a door that wasn't working, and so there's gonna be crowbar, I think, in this guy.
Yeah, and that was the next thing that really impressed me was the things you're doing to progress. I think of I haven't had the chance to play Layers of Fear 2 yet, but I will. But I think of like Layers of Fear 1, where there's like not a ton you can do. It's like you're going through, solving some puzzles here and there, opening a lot of doors, kind of moving through the environment. But this was a lot of finding different items, using different items, like searching on the computers and the
searching your
cabinets and finding
looking for
codes.
post-it notes. Like
Yeah.
there's
The shadow.
Did you see that?
Yeah, it's good.
with the shadow of what?
A moving figure. While we were
Oh,
opening the door,
yeah.
a figure moved by.
So yeah, I'm actually curious to maybe just commentate on this stuff because I don't know how deep this.
This part's about
This
to be
guy
free.
goes.
Jump scare incoming. Prepare yourself. Don't be scared.
Okay.
Jump scare. This
So who's talking on the bottom of the screen there?
some freako
Oh.
right here. Freako. Don't be scared. It's coming. Huh? Don't get closer. Now we wake up.
Now we actually wake up. So that's the question: is what just happened?
What just
Is that a flash forward, like a premonition? Is it just a nightmare?
Flash
What is-
sideways.
Alternate universe. Yeah.
But yeah, so now we wake up. We're in our room, same room,
And we're
but
on Mars.
everything's fine. Yeah, and we're on Mars. And here's the crazy thing: we're on Mars secretly.
Yes. The lore seemed cool.
There's like you're working for some company people believe you're somewhere else, and there's like memos and stuff in your emails that are like, hey, be careful about what you say when you like email home and stuff. Like if something almost slipped out, like nobody can know we're here. Like it's really
Jones, I think
it's
you'll
an interesting setup.
I think you'll love this.
It sounds like a Jones game.
So you're talking to like your other friend on the ship. So it's you and him.
Do they find the
But
panties?
they're like, he keeps referencing other crew members, but like doesn't really know where they are, doesn't really know what they're doing. Like, oh yeah, like maybe, you know, I don't really know where the doctor is right now, or oh yeah, Sykes is off doing something.
So yeah, so
you
there's a
have
code
this
that you need
sense
right there.
of this ragtag crew vibe where everyone's kind of off doing their own thing on this this like Martian station.
Yeah, and so so you get your ID, you get the code that you need.
Do we think this is the type of game where you never get a weapon?
That's pretty much what
Yeah,
they
that's
said.
what they that's what they said.
They're
The
hiding.
crowbar you can use kind of to defend yourself and kind of get free
But
if
it's more
you're
of a
under
tool.
attack.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more of this more adventure style thing where
Yeah.
you're kind of sifting through all of the clues and the dialogue and story stuff.
Finding
I'm getting
codes.
Soma vibes.
Totally.
I know it's obviously a very different setting, but
Yep.
How Damian or Ian, how long is this this video go? I'm curious if this is like the whole demo.
It looks like it's a lot of it.
12 minutes.
Yeah, because they're gonna go do the whole like water pump thing. They gotta like drain the water in this area,
Classic.
and then crazy spooky things start.
Oh, this
happening.
is fun. Did you pick this up?
Yes. Yeah, you can like play with it. I hope he opens it up. Here we go. Yeah. Bloop. Little astronauts popping out. It's good animation too. Yeah. So
You want to just let this play out?
Yeah, I'm thinking like might as well.
I don't have too much more to say other than they nailed the atmosphere and the vibe, and again the progression was fun. Oh, and you
But
get
yeah, but you see, we're starting to see the power going out here. That's why I'm like premonition on that.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get to that moment later on in the game. I feel confident.
yeah, and you'll get a scanner soon, and the way you use your scanner was really interesting too. You have to kind of find like a vantage point to unlock this area.
And who's talking? What
It's
is
like
the
your
first?
other friend on the space station, like maybe a pilot or
But you heard from no one else besides that friend.
yeah, just you two are talking.
Crazy.
Okay.
And he's like, "Hey, we got to get the water drained." So
Yeah, well, that's what I think is interesting though. Is a lot of they
I
skip
took a knee.
breakfast.
Yo, can you back up to 5 seconds? Is that possible? I want to show Kyle the cereal. I took a knee here.
I was gonna ask if those are cereal dispensers.
Yeah, I saw Cinnamon Toast Crunch for sure.
Not the logo, but you identified the cereal by
yeah.
the texture.
Yeah, I was staring at that cereal for
Yeah.
a while.
But you,
Also,
but you can make a coffee.
yes,
You can grab the mug,
Fresh
and
brew.
make a coffee, and drink it, and put the mug back.
Cool.
But then, total astronaut food. You go around, and then there's like this. There's just it's just like a service tray, right? Like you would get like a housekeeping or something bring. But there's like these little squares that look like fish sticks, and it says bacon and eggs.
Cool. Really, really
thanks,
cool.
Ian, for doing that.
Hubert, in the Easy Allies office, do we need a cereal dispenser?
Would love that. Love cereal. But then you have to keep milk around, and milk expires.
Right,
It's a production.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Only on
yeah,
Mars.
this is cute. This is the running
Yeah.
tutorial.
You can work
You
out.
get
here.
on a treadmill and like have to keep your heart rate at a certain point.
I wish there was a weightlifting mini game. I wanted to like mash something to lift the dumbbells, but to no avail.
Do you think there's gonna be a point in the game where you have to run?
I would imagine.
Oh yeah,
there's
you've
freakos.
You're gonna have to run.
Freako witches, demons.
So you think at some point we're
Cthulhu's.
gonna be like hiding and dashing and just getting freaked out nonstop?
I would
Yeah.
imagine that this game escalates. Yes, there will for sure be an escalation.
Who's the
Yeah.
studio?
It's Funcom that's publishing. I'm not sure in terms of like actual developer.
It looks nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks very nice.
very
Yeah.
nice. It was
Yeah,
nice
we were playing on
to-
PC. We were playing mouse and keyboard.
It was nice to be on the space station. You know, that's always such a hard thing to get up here and talk about. You know, is the feeling of a game, and that's like, oh, this one feels good, this one doesn't feel good. Like Biomutant didn't feel fun to be in, hitting things, and this is just like fun to walk around and pick things up and look at them.
Is there a map?
Rock Pocket Games.
Do you get lost?
I got lost a couple times.
Okay.
But there was
I like
that was
these.
my fault. There's very
Those
clear
arrows are
things
nice,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
ground
Those are nice.
of where to go. So,
Rock
good stuff. I really like it.
Okay, so apparently they had previously shown off an earlier build, and then Funcom brought them on board to work with them to put the game
Yeah, but
out.
Huber, I mean, you liked Alien Isolation, so I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
Oh boy.
Which again, that, like, you know,
Isolation.
I got my stupid hangups about Isolation, but that game is pretty.
Yes.
And like this
High budge.
This looks like a game where I can really kind of drink up very, very tiny details.
In this
yeah,
part
it's
too,
neat.
you have to find this your chip for your little arm pad, and then
Yeah.
you have to find a pen to like reset it. So just the objectives. I thought.
Whoa! I didn't know this. I'm not
Uh-oh.
familiar with the game, but I played like way early alpha build, way back in the day. Moons of Madness draws upon the rich lore and mythology of Funcom's Secret World Legends.
That's right. Oh yeah, he
There's a
told me he was
tie-in.
like.
This
he
ties
was,
in with Secret World?
yeah, he's like it's in the same universe. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
That's so weird.
is that the MMO?
Yeah, Secret
Is that
World
still going?
is like one of the weirdest, strangest little closets of video games that I've never even like opened. I've never cracked it open. But it's like a whole MMO, a whole fan base, and so
Yeah.
Secret World Legends I have to assume is some sort of offshoot.
Yep.
And then this exists within that.
Oh, this is
universe.
when you're okay. Yeah, so this
Cthulhu's.
is funny. So you have to find your little LCD thing, and then you have to find a pen to like reboot it. So that's what I mean, like adventure
cool.
game, like old school adventure
Yep.
game type of mechanics.
I
It's
like
fun.
that all the tech in the rooms and computer terminals and everything like.
There's
I
the
like
scan.
that because some games like this, like where you're going around and getting logs, like are fun, but like every time you get to a computer, it's like the same
The
exact
same,
setup,
exactly,
the same
exactly.
looking desk, the same,
Oh, did you
and-
see the green screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They've got like a
making
little.
videos.
Yeah,
So I like the
little video station.
physicality of like picking up and looking at these objects, and they're all really unique because it makes it interesting. Like when you flip something over, like what does the backside of this thing look like, and yeah, what can I use this for?
Totally.
Walking around and seeing it at the same time, and
The
Yeah.
bacon and eggs. So that's still one of my favorite little details. Like I'm gonna eat
The
a
coffee.
stick of
Good
bacon.
detail.
and eggs.
Anytime you can make coffee in a game.
Size of the world.
Like
dude.
the Twitter account, can you pet the dog? There needs to be one
Yeah.
like, can you drink the coffee? 'Cause,
Right.
like a lot of games have
Probably
coffee.
not
It's
that
a
many,
smaller
though.
list. Evil Within 2,
Many
Life
less
is Strange
followers.
2.
Okay.
This. Can you do it at Night in the Woods? I forget. Maybe not.
No.
Help us out, chat. I don't see you, but
It's rare.
let
It's
me know.
Very rare.
Tweet me which games you can drink coffee in. I want answers. Making a
Pilgrim?
list.
Schubert
Huh?
wants.
Scott Pilgrim, you can get some coffee.
Scott Pilgrim.
Mm.
Cyberpunk, you
Yeah.
can probably drink coffee.
You have to, dude.
Yakuza, maybe. You can drink
Here's,
a lot
okay,
of
here's the
whiskey and beer.
greenhouse now.
cool. Top 10 waking up on a station games.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Persona 5.
Oh,
Persona
Lots of
5,
coffee.
dude, the
Oh,
main
coffee,
one.
of
Oh,
course,
I'm a
yeah.
failure.
Of course.
It's like my
That's probably
favorite
number
one.
one, too.
Yeah, it's number
Yeah.
one.
They go into the art of it and everything. Yeah,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yes. So good.
Cool.
Oh.
Does this is this incoming?
This is in. Oh,
the
they're
date?
gonna. They might not let you see the end. We'll see.
Ooh, is it?
Yeah, and your dog tag or your tag was like security level 1, so you're finding other security. Yeah.
Yeah.
here we go,
There's another
Cthulhu.
person that you don't run into. That you get their tag for 2.
This is where the demo ended. They really wanted to make sure that I got this far. They were like, "You must see the end."
I think the trailer ends this way too.
Yeah. This thing.
Dude, that's just a Kraken.
Yep.
Not quite. That they call this stuff the.
Look at
filth.
this thing,
Oh,
this
Brad.
dude. Yeah.
Watch. Or, Brad Bossman, watch this.
Give me a hug.
I see.
Rah!
Yeah. Uninstall. Escape, uninstall.
There we go. That's the intro to the Moons of Madness.
That thing is freaky, man.
Mm-hmm. Cool game.
Let's see what's up next.
Hey, is Titan
oh, Conan
Quest
Chop Chop.
Atlantis a new Titan Quest? Or is that like the old one remastered?
Dude,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know.
man.
1 month ago. That's
Yeah,
gotta
man.
be. That's gotta be new.
Titan Quest was cool.
We'll need Eon in here for the Conan Chop Chops.
Eon!
Curtain, chop, chop. Oh, I have one question about Watch Dogs.
Yes.
While we wait
Oh,
for
yeah.
Ian.
Yes.
Did you talk about how if you walk into an environment and you're trying to sneak around, and you go only fisticuffs, if you don't bring out a weapon, that the enemies won't shoot you.
Yes.
They'll
Yeah.
also punch you.
Yes.
I love that.
I love
Yeah.
that.
I love that when AI has some sense of self-preservation.
Yeah, like this guy's going crazy with a gun. I'm gonna take him down, or
Yes.
like, oh, this guy is just trying to burglarize the place.
Right.
Let's
I
subdue
just
him.
feel like sometimes enemies don't act in their own best interest, and that just really makes no sense to me. They all just want to kill me worse than they want to live.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of thing is really cool.
Yes.